What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of your Casually Chelsea show. I am accompanied by a starting panel of Rio Chris, CP, Ahmed, and myself, Marshall DBDX. So big up to every single one of you. If you guys don't already know what to do, smash up the like button as it helps out the channel tremendously. Be sure to subscribe to get us to that 5K mark. We're really aiming for the stars, and it would be great help for you guys to go ahead and get us closer to that mark by subscribing if you're new here. And yeah, just, you know, if you're regularly watching the content and you haven't already subscribed, there's no point in why not doing so. That word incentives made sense. But yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. You don't miss out whenever we do go live. We are nearing the very final stages of the transfer window. So we will be back here on Sunday, obviously, to recap any last minute transfers and all that stuff for Chelsea. But we will be here going over all the news. And ladies and gents, we have a jam-packed show for you. Lots of here we goes, lots of dramas, lots of developments happening in the final days of the window. And we're here to go over it. Lastly, go check out the links in the description. Everyone's content is on there. You can check out more of my content, the Bridge Nation, RSM, everyone who you normally see on this panel show will be there. And also be sure to check out the memberships because there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. All right, so you guys already know what we like to do here. We like to ramp it up, start off a little slow, and then get into the big hitters of this past few days since the last Casually Chelsea show. So let's start off with the first topic, which is some Club World Cup qualification news. So we have a bit of an update in regards to this, and not really an update, but an inquiry. We'll find a word for it. But Kieran Gill reports that as it stands, Chelsea would not be guaranteed a place at the Club World Cup in 4 years' time as defending champions. But sources at football's world governing body have confirmed they are reviewing qualification plans. That being said,
don't piss Jamie Carragher off.
It seems like there's a strong potential that Chelsea could be considered an automatic entry into the next edition of the Club World Cup. Now, I'll say this. I understand both ends of it, but it feels like if you're a Club World Cup champion, to me, it seems like you should automatically be able to defend it. I guess when it comes to the World Cup, the teams that usually win it automatically make it, you know, just because of the quality. They usually get into the World Cup the following year.
Club World, like, especially in Premier League as well. It's hard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I want this to happen. Obviously, I want to return to Club World Cup. I also, if we don't automatically come back and defend the champion, you know, the belt, the trophy, then it's okay because I feel like we do have a chance to get another qualification by winning Champions League or doing really well in Europe. So, guys, I'll leave it to you guys. How do you feel about this? Do you want the challenge of, you know, having to do well in Europe to qualify again? I know maybe some of you don't want to qualify for it at all. Or do you want to just get an automatic ticket because you won it? You feel like you earned a spot into a next qualification or the next Club World Cup?
I think we've won it. I think that's more than enough now. So let's just try and let's win out UCL final stuff like that. But let's make sure next time we just lose in the group stages because I'm not really feeling this trophy. Once enough.
All right. Well, I figured the sky is blue, and Ahmed doesn't want us to be there, so we.
No, I need Jamie Carragher crash out. I don't care like the amount of crash out he would do because he don't believe Chelsea should have been in to begin with. Like I think it's kind of crazy since that's the rules to begin with, but I don't know because like you said, it's like the World Cup, right? So it should be treated. It should be kind of treated the same way, but in the Premier League, it's so hard to qualify because. In all fairness, I don't know if I see anyone winning Champions League in the next 4 years of the Premier League, really, unless it's like maybe Liverpool. We could, but we have to still do a few improvements, Marshall. We need a keeper. We need, this season anyway, we need another centre-back at least for it. It's not easy, Marshall. I know we're in the Club World Cup, but like it's not going to be easy. We've only won
Arsenal got
remember, we've only won it twice in our lifetime. We've only won it twice.
I just want to remind you that Arsenal got to the semi-final of UCL last season with Mourinho as their striker.
I know. And
they also had incredible defense and goalkeeper.
Fuck their defense.
No, their defense is unreal. But I mean, yeah, we could win it again, and I'd be.
I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to have a complete team to get.
I will. True. Like
we do need a good defense.
Yes.
We have a decent defense. Third best defense.
Not this season.
Yes, we do.
Not this season. We've
only conceded 1 goal in the first 2 games. Let's calm down a bit.
Sanchez has already made 2 mistakes in 2 games, at least.
Jesus Christ, here we go.
The one thing I will say, Marshall.
And one of them is
if you compare the defenses that we won the UCL with, right? If you compare them, right?
Sure.
And compare them to the ones that we have currently.
We have
Cole, and we need to add the context that we don't have Cole, obviously, into this equation. I do think we are a bit weaker. I don't think there's anything wrong in us saying that. Our defense is quite a bit more weak. And that's just me being objective.
You imagine Tosin.
All right, so Arsenal going to qualify for the next Club World Cup because they've been better than us. Is that what we're saying right now?
No, 4 years.
No, but you're changing. I think you're changing the question.
No, because I'm just following the logic train, right?
No.
Arsenal got to the semi-final because they had a great defense.
No.
Surely this year they're going to win it, or they're going to go to the final over us.
Listen, that might be a possibility that they go to a final. There's nothing wrong with us saying we don't know if they're going to go to a final or not.
They got Jokic now.
But the one thing in UCL football that puts you always in a good stead, no matter what, Marshall, is having a solid and good defense. Now, I don't
disagree completely, but I don't want to.
But the argument we're making, if you look at Chelsea, particularly, you have no Cole anymore too. Yeah, it does somewhat hamper us, bro. Mm-hmm. We need to be honest about that. It does hamper us in terms of just how good that. Now, goalkeeping wise, with Sanchez, he can be hot, he can be cold. We just don't want him to be cold. That's the best way I can put it.
Listen, if Sanchez has a good UCL, then whatever. At the end of the day, that could be the case. He has a good UCL, not so good Premier League. It happens. Look at Donnarumma. Donnarumma wasn't great at PSG during La Ligue, Ligue 1, sorry.
What?
But in UCL,
what was he doing in Ligue 1? What do you mean?
What did he?
I don't have to repeat myself. You heard exactly what I said.
No.
In Ligue 1, Donnarumma wasn't that great last season.
I disagree. I actually think it was.
Brother, they conceded 16 goals.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that much, bro. It was 16 goals.
In the league?
Yeah, but you look at his save percentage. It wasn't great.
Well, they're not going to face like a lot of shots, are they?
Yeah, they're not going to be facing that many shots. Like, if we're being objective
they're not going to be over the top, are they?
He's not facing that many shots. Again, we need to be... Listen,
okay, no, but... Okay,
who's
I need to try to land my point. Because if you let me go halfway through my point, you're never going to understand fully what I'm trying to tell you, right? So, yes, his save percentage wasn't that great, but it's also the shots he's expected to save wasn't that great either during Ligue 1, right? In UCL, we see a different Donnarumma. He's fantastic. But even up until, what game was it? Up until Liverpool, he didn't look that great either. After Liverpool, he stepped it up. He became world-class Donnarumma that we all know and see. So he didn't have a fantastic campaign the whole season either. Now, going back to Levi Colwell, Levi Colwell, we all were considering basically shit in the defense up until
Not me.
February, maybe March, where he's turned it around and stepped it up. I'm not saying like, okay, we don't have like, I'm not saying we have a great defense and all that stuff, but also I don't think our defense is that much worse than Arsenal's.
Yes, it is. You know why?
Center
Because
back
they're about
wise,
to-
it is.
Wait. In terms of depth, they're about to just besides Mosquera, they're about to get Hincapié as a backup left center back for Gabriel. Who do we have right now? What are you smoking?
But
They have
I would,
500. All their fallbacks,
but
all their
also-
fallbacks can
yeah.
play center back. Califurio can play center back. Timber can play center back. Ben White can play center back. Kivior can play center back, but he's getting loaned out for Hincapié, who plays center back. They got Mosquera, who's center back. Saliba, center back. Gabriel, center back. They literally have the best center back pairing in the league and have the best depth in center back in the league.
You also forgot Raya's a good
And
keeper too.
and including him,
Raya's
they've
good.
had the best. They've had the
Breaking
best defense
news.
for the past
Breaking
3
news.
years. What?
I don't know, it might be on here already.
Whatever, Ahmed, just for the sake of the show
It's not for
today,
Chelsea
whatever
related. It's
breaking-
not Chelsea related, but I thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
then don't even bring it up because it doesn't. It's like we
It's
have
about
so much to go over.
Uh,
We have so much to go over, and I
like
can't have you derail the show because
Yeah, I was gonna say
otherwise
we're
I just
gonna
never
end up
get done.
spending. We're gonna end up spending at least about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
or so.
if it has to do with
Yeah,
Chelsea,
let's just go
just
down
put
the
it in the chat, and I'll address it.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
Vino?
Sorry, no,
Okay.
sorry, no.
Yeah.
I've just
But no, but I was
we're
gonna.
on the first
uh,
topic, and we're already
I'm
having a
also
debate.
stressed.
You know what I'm trying to say?
One thing I'm just gonna make a bit clear, yeah, is that I think
Yeah,
this-
sure.
we can keep talking about Colwell shit initially, but the one thing we can say is that Colwell has finally had the growth that you wanted him to have,
Yeah,
right?
of
And
course.
that and so for me, us giving him credit now is because he has improved. That's the one thing
Yeah,
I
of
will
course.
say,
I
right?
understand.
And so for me, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to I forget his name right now, Levi Colwell, you know, he is a big blow fast in terms of just ball playing as well. Trevor Chalobah, I think one of his weaknesses in his game is that he's not as good on the ball, right? Achempong is a lot younger, so it's gonna take us time for Achempong to hopefully get to the position that we're talking about Levi Colwell in, hope, right? For example. So,
Yeah.
and then you've
No,
got
I
Tosin
get
as
that.
well. All right,
I
and
understand.
Hato again, extremely inexperienced in terms of the league itself.
Yeah. But like in terms of like, listen, I get it. Arsenal, great defense. Defense does win games. Defense wins titles, all that shit. Obviously, it's not all just about defense. Like if we go tit for tat, us against Arsenal, yeah, they have a better defense than us. I'll admit that. I'm not an
midfield's
idiot
better.
either. Our midfield is better, in my greatest opinion, and then I think our attack is better as well. That might be controversial, but I do think
it's debatable.
our attack is better.
It is debatable. We have to see what Jokic does. Like he
yeah.
had a good game against Leeds, of course, but you know, time will tell with Jokic in the Premier League.
So with me, I do think we stand a good chance to do. I don't even know how this conversation even started, but with me, I do
Champions League.
stand a great chance that we're going to do well in Champions League. We're going to go far in Champions League, and you know, how did this even start on? Man, I don't even remember how this.
It went
conversation
Club
I
started.
think
Cup
no,
and, like, how
I
to
think we were
qualify
talking
and-
that, we were talking about, yeah.
And
Oh,
who's going, like-
qualifying. Okay.
well, I mean, we could have a good chance, like, still qualify for the Club World Cup. It's just like depending how consistent we are in the Champions League. If we keep going out early stages, then we're not going to get there unless we get
Yeah.
a lucky. There's a bit of luck as well, and win the whole thing.
It'd really
Mm-hmm.
help if we actually go win and spend money on a centre back. But hey,
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
do that too, but
Scott and
we
CP,
got
I guess I'll ask you guys, how do you feel about the chance that we might actually make it to Club World Cup just by the fact that we won it? Or you prefer
Sure.
not to be involved, or you prefer to just keep it, you know, everyone has to qualify fair and square each year?
I mean, it's good from our point of view in terms of it makes our life easier in terms of being actually able to play in the competition, but I don't really know how it works from a logistical standpoint for everything else, you know, with everything else, I mean, and especially if, like, I don't think it happens, but say another team wins the competition, does that mean that, so like say, for example, like a CONCACAF team wins the competition, the only CONCACAF teams that made the competition this year were teams that had won the CONCACAF Champions League. So are you just going to tell one of those winners that they're no longer in it? Like that's where I don't know how it's going to work.
Oh, you think a team will go out of it?
Is it just going to be the winners, whoever they're from, whatever region, they automatically are in it? And then, so say for example, I think what was that, 8 European teams? So we just get a spot, but you still have the 8 European teams. Because if it works like that, then I think that's probably the fairest way you can do it. But that's where I'm a bit unsure about logistically how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. TP, what are your thoughts?
I think they're planning to expand the amount of teams joining anyways.
Oh shit!
So I think
Which
in
is
general
stupid.
they're going to do that. So I think that's why us getting a spot's not going to really, at least with the Champions League winner, is going to block anyone. I don't know how it would be for other places like people winning the league or all that stuff, but coefficients. But yeah, also not my concern. I don't care about other clubs. I care about my club. So tough luck for whoever gets kicked out. I don't care.
Okay.
You can imagine the talks like if Chelsea do automatically qualify again, because like it was already bad enough. Like when we won Champions League, they didn't accept that. They said like, oh, we shouldn't be in it because we're not that good now. So
oh, you mean when the season we were like 6th or 7th?
Yeah, like everyone was crying and bitching about Chelsea being in it. Like Jamie Carragher obviously being one of the biggest ones since he's like on Sky Sports and all that. But yeah, like I just can't wait to see how people handle that. If that's the case, we do qualify.
I feel like people just
I don't care.
What's annoying is that people forget this is like Club World Cup, and it's based on. It's not. Is it a FIFA run event? Like, does it correlate with UEFA? It does, right?
Yeah, that's with FIFA. It's with FIFA.
So it's like it has nothing to do with your domestic league. I feel like people forget to separate domestic performance versus actual like European, continental performances.
They're
right?
saying fuck that. It has to be about your league like position and all that.
It's like fuck, dude. Like, well, I mean. PSG, this isn't the best example, but off the top of my head, like if PSG constantly win Ligue 1, right? But when it comes to Europe, they always fall short in group stages, but Monaco or Lille always do great. Like, would it be controversial if Lille and Monaco were in the Club World Cup but not PSG? No, because it's based off of not domestic form, it's based off of continental. How you do in the tournaments and the UEFA and the fucking Libertadores, all that shit. So it's just like people can't help themselves but to intertwine both. But I digress. Let's actually move on to the next topic, which I'm gonna. If you know, do not answer. But if you don't know, I need you guys to answer.
If we don't know, how we answer it?
Because I guess it's more of a yes or no, right?
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't even know. But do you guys know? Do you guys know what team this is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that kid that.
Sorry. Ahmed, do you know who the team is?
Of course I know. So it's got that 16-year-old wonder kid.
Yeah. You see,
hold it.
Ahmed doesn't listen. This is confirmed. Ahmed does not listen. Confirmed. Chris, do you know who the team this is?
Yeah, it's a 16-year-old kid or something, right?
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Ahmed.
Because you heard everyone else. Chris knowing that is good. Yes. I don't believe for a second.
Chris listens more than Ahmed. This is actually crazy, guys. Casually FC Bumba. Chris listens more than Ahmed.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yo, so I wanted to bring this up because this kid that we got when he was 16 years old for Chelsea is now his team is now qualified for UCL, which is awesome to see. And now we get to actually see him play. He's going to play against Arsenal in the qualifying stages, but I figured I'd throw this in because I think a lot of people listen. I'm not gonna get hyped on it. I want to see how he plays, right? Because no offense to the Kazakhstan league, but I rate Brazilian league more than Kazakhstan league. So if Esteval and Santos is doing good in Brazilian league, I'm like, okay, that's something to look at. Whereas the Kazakhstan league, I'm more like, okay, we'll see what happens when he gets to a Europe loan or something like that. But this kid's doing bits, and I kind of wanted to see where you guys stand on that. Maybe the same as you, just paying.
Can I be honest?
Go for it.
I'll give two ways I can put this. I'll make a personal one and one. So I remember back in the day, you know, when I used to travel, I used to buy those Starbucks cups based on the city that you're in, right? One for Seattle and all. That's what it is. Okay, he's a souvenir we took when we went to Kazakhstan last year. Okay,
Sure.
and you know how
Actually,
like
it's kinda
you look
true,
at the
yeah.
souvenir. Yeah, you know how you just look at the souvenir, you just reminded of the trip. That's what he is right now. I honestly, good for him, good for the team. I don't care right now. There's so many other players higher in the ranks for me that I need to care about, aka Sar and Mike Penders, because my future relies on that in the next couple of years more than this kid right now. So I'm happy for him, but I really don't care. I'm glad we got another. I'm glad we got another team that's like a cheerleader for us. It's like another Conference League team added to our collection that's cheering for us in a way.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Scott, I'm assuming you're in the same boat.
Exactly the same. This like forgetting even like CP hit the nail on the head. Forgetting even the guys that come in like Penders and Sar and that. Look at his position, because he hasn't been playing up front for them. I've been watching. I'm not watching their games, but I've been looking at where he's been playing when they've been playing. He plays on the left.
Oh,
So he's behind three people already.
Can compete with Garnacho.
Cool.
We have Quanda coming next year. We have Quanda coming next year.
That's what I'm saying. He's behind three people, potentially four, potentially five. On Payet.
Five if Simmons or Fermin joins. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He's behind so many people. I'm not even focused on him now. I'm just like, if he performs, he performs. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's cool his team is in it. Like, big up to them for getting in it. Just don't care right now. Like, he not a priority at all.
Have you guys watched him much? He's like what, 17 or something?
I forgot he existed. I'll be honest until last week.
I did it because every time his team plays, half the friggin' timeline is just creaming over him.
Yeah,
like,
my TikTok feed started popping up. Yeah, my TikTok feed was filled with this a week from a week ago. That's what I'm saying. That's what I remember.
It's crazy.
Wait, what?
I don't hate on hype. I hate on the fact, bro. We got people talking about this kid. Like, we haven't got a million other things that are on the priority list ahead of him right now. Just let him play. Like, man are talking, he's going to be sick for us. When 2035? Like, when the fuck is he playing for us?
Listen, this is the same conversations, not necessarily us, but a lot of people are having asked about. So it's just one of those that.
Oh, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
What? No, I believe CP watches them as well.
No, I was gonna say no. It was completely different. Esteval was playing for arguably the best team in the best league in South America, and was winning stuff on a regular basis and playing and performing ahead of other people.
Yes.
And is also older, by the way, a year older.
Okay, I never said he was Esteval. I'm just saying that people were talking similarly about Esteval, like we're talking about this kid, and we're having this tone on it, is what I'm trying to say.
We cost 4 million euros.
Situation is different.
Yes, it's a different league that most of us don't.
I'll be honest, Marshall. He's a flip it price at like 4 million euros. I can see it.
Listen, maybe I only wanted to point it out because now that first of all, his team qualified for Champions League the first time in its history, I believe, and I think a large part of it is because of him.
Like, that's fantastic, but like that's all it is. Like, it's fantastic for them. That's it.
It's one definitely to keep an eye on because I want to see what the hype is all about, really, right?
No, it's not. I'm gonna be honest.
There was literally no hype until this week. I swear to God, my timeline did not give a shit about that.
I don't.
Scott literally just told you there's people hyping it up every time he has a good performance.
Like, Marshall, respectfully, I don't care about what this kid is doing. Like, we need to focus on this club. I'm not one to keep an eye on. Like, I'll keep an eye on him in like 2 years' time when he has the opportunity to potentially play for this club. Then I can assess then. I'm not keeping an eye on him now when I've got things to worry about, like who's my left winger going to be going into the season, starting left winger. How are we going to deal with a centre back situation? Like, just.
Well, hey, Scott, don't spoil the show. That's for future segments, man. Who's going to be a left winger?
I'm sensing really, really high strung energy today from everyone.
Yes,
really? We're all really pressed
Marshall,
about.
Do you know why? Marshall,
yeah, no, I'm aware. But let's
Don't take on the 17-year-old.
Well, you know what? I'll say what I have to say when I get to that.
Sadly, we have a 20-year-old we just signed. So sorry.
Yeah.
21.
Okay.
Actually.
Oh, he's 21. Good young age.
He can finally drink in the US. Nice.
Okay, so let's go ahead into the next segment. A bit of an outgoings update just to kind of get us up to speed as to how much money we've been actually making in this window. And in terms of sales, like, I feel like by the end of this window, we're going to have maybe 3 players left to sell, 4, like that our priority need to go, like a Sterling, Chilwell kind. But look at this list, guys. You got it,
Wow.
Madueke, you got
Oh, yeah, we've got
Nkunku on
20 more.
here, Felix, KDH, Leslie Wachuga Petrovic, Chukwemeka, Vega, Broja, Amugu, Humphreys, Samuel Smith, which that one's a buyback, I believe. Kepa, Bettinelli, like, holy crap.
25 million
And-
for Dewsbury is pretty good since we paid, what, 35? So we got a good year out of him. Pardon?
Yeah.
Paid 30.
Oh, 30. So yeah, that's even better then. Like, we got a
Yeah,
good
we got
Conference
21.
League run, and like the games he played in as a sub as well. Like, he had a good year.
Mhm.
So
We're
It's not too
definitely obviously going to talk about Nkunku a little later in the show, but like really impressive selling window for this club at the moment. CP, what do you want to say?
Sorry, I was gonna say we have one more person we have to sell probably for next year, because you mentioned 4. I would say about 5, because a certain person joined, so I would say sell them next year.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what
Gonna need
happens.
to go. There's no place
Yeah.
next year.
But yeah,
Don't worry, man,
this
you're fine.
this window in terms of sales has been, I mean, if I had to just rate the window in terms of sales, just sales alone, like a 9 out of 10. It'd be a perfect window if we can get rid of Chilwell and Sterling. But the sales have been amazing. The strategy of sell-on clauses has also been really useful for us. Yeah, I'm a fan. So I figured give us a little update of the outgoings, and we'll probably recap it at the end of the window just to like really look back at the bigger picture, because I didn't expect it to be this big of a selling window. I knew it was going to be a selling window. I didn't expect this to be this successful though. Like, we had double digits that we needed to move out, and I believe we sat on this panel and said like probably going to realistically be like a handful, but no, we hit double digits in terms of sales. It's insane. But yeah, that was
very good.
yeah. But yeah, in terms of the sales, looking really good. Incomings, yeah, we'll talk about incomings. But let's move on to the next topic, and let's talk about one of the big stories, not even stories, but one of the big things that happened today, the event, which was the UCL draw. So first and foremost, the one thing I wanted to talk about was Chelsea right here will be presented with an award for winning every UEFA domestic trophy following their Conference League victory. So yep, of course, we've won it all. They'll never sing that. And this is like the plaque certificate that we got for it. Pretty neat. I wish it was another trophy. That'd be great. I'm sure that'll come soon. But yeah, it's fantastic to see. And here we have the fixtures that we drew today. So out of pot 1, we got Bayern, Barcelona, then Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli, Paphos, and Karabag. So I'll be honest with you guys. I'm hyped. I'm pumped. Bring it on. Like, I am so ready for this. Like, some people are going to be pussyfoot about this and be like, oh, it's a difficult draw. And, oh, damn, I wanted the easy teams. I wanted Dortmund and all this and that.
No, we'll be fine.
Listen, Barcelona is one of the tough teams. Barcelona is a favorites to get to the final based on a lot of people's expectation. I want to see how we fare against a Barcelona. I want to see how we fare against a Bayern. Like, these are really, really good teams to compete against, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how we fare up against the best of them, right? And that's just me. Call me ridiculous or deluded. I don't think I'm being any ridiculous at all. Big up, Prime. But what I will say, this is oddly similar fixtures to the ones that we faced back in 2011 or 2012. 2011-12.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
You can say there's a lot of history.
Number three.
Sure, I guess.
Maybe
Bayern, Barcelona, Napoli,
but
Benfica.
No, but there is a lot of history, right? Because obviously Bayern, we won it. Barcelona because till my dying breath, I want that club liquidated for 2009. Till my dying, I swear to God. Benfica, obviously, we won the Europa League. Ajax, that 4-4 match we had, and then Napoli. We have a lot of history because not even the comeback from the Cavani days, but we got a lot of players from in that team right now. We got the Conte, we got the Lukaku, and I think we have who else? One more player I'm forgetting, but Gilmore, Billy. And Gilmore. Yeah.
You guys also know the 2 times we've won the Champions League, we've lost to Arsenal home and away. I'm cool with that. I don't care, by the way, but I'm just letting you guys know. So if we're doing the stars are aligning thingy.
No, but Prime, we've been losing to them for quite a while, and we've been getting some draws home, but away we've been getting battered. So
yeah, I know, but home and away. So if we lose home and away, then we're winning the CL, guys.
You know,
dude, you know what you sound like? You sound like such an Arsenal fan right now. You sound like such an Arsenal fan when the Pope died. Oh, you know, whenever the Pope dies, the English team wins. Nah, I
literally laugh.
I love how he said that for him and not for me.
That's the most Arsenal shit that I've ever heard in my life.
Also, calling me an Arsenal
I forgot about you, Marshall.
Also, calling me an Arsenal fan, I take as a slur. So don't offend me again, please.
I know, I meant it. I know.
I will call Casually HR on you. I'll call Casually HR.
I didn't even know we had an HR department.
Yes,
it's just YouTube as far as I'm aware.
Have you seen the Adapol?
The HR department is literally Chris.
You're in trouble.
Fine. The things that been said in the Discord, there's definitely not an HR department. I know that.
Yeah, I just want to point out really quickly.
Those things don't offend me. Calling me an Arsenal fan offends me.
Is my mic not working? Yeah, but listen. So I just wanted to just point out: are we hyping up this plate?
What?
Yeah. We won all, mate. What are you talking about?
I'll be honest, man. What is this shit, bro? Like,
it looks meaty. He's right. It looks meaty.
No, he's not wrong. It looks better on the stream.
Like I feel like we need to be. Listen, we gotta.
It needs to be a trophy.
Look, bro, it's actually, with all due respect, really trash. Like, this is my opinion, of course. In terms of the actual draw itself, solid draw. I don't think you could ask for anything worse or anything better. Good draw. We should be able to do our jobs against the vast majority of those opponents. And so, listen, I don't really think there's that much of an issue with the draw. I don't think anyone here would be telling you that, that the draw is bad.
No, I like the draw. I like the draw.
Yeah.
We should be beating at least 6 teams on that list.
Is that how it's gonna go? By the way, in terms of
it's not that order. The schedule is.
It's not that order.
Like realistically, guys, barring Bayern and Barcelona, we should be beating every single other team.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
No, we should.
I like a lot of it. No, I would agree. I mean, no, I can't disagree. I'm like really thinking about it, and I'm like, we should be able to beat all of these teams.
I'm not saying we shouldn't, but Napoli, I can sense Conte pulling the deepest, darkest dark arts.
Conte in Europe. I'm absolutely not worried.
It's Conte in Europe. Yeah,
I'm not worried.
I found out today that Conte's only wins in Europe have been Celtic home and away.
Oh no, he's bad.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't know.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
In the knockout or in the group stages?
In Europe,
I don't think he's made it out of group stages.
Oh no, yes, Chelsea.
He has, but he's only won 2 games. He's only won 2 games in knockout.
That must only be the Champions League then, because in Europa he reached the final.
Oh, I thought you meant Champions League.
Champions
League. He did not make it to the final.
With Inter Milan, he reached the final.
Yeah, he made it to the final with Inter.
He made it to the final of Europa. Yeah.
I just thought he was talking about Champions League.
His first season at Inter, they reached the final, and he lost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Lukaku was.
I think it's in terms of UCL.
Yeah, that was the Lukaku one where he
something.
Yeah, I remember that final.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But what team are we like most looking forward to off those fixtures in the
Barcelona?
I mean, I'd rather face Barca than to like a tie. I'll be real, but Barca, yes, I'm looking forward to playing. Barca at the bridge.
Barca at the bridge, yeah. Is that the first time? No, that's not the first time we faced Barca
No.
at the bridge. Yeah.
Wait,
never mind.
is Barca at the bridge?
Yeah.
Barca at the bridge and
Oh,
Bayern and
Allianz,
Allianz.
Yeah.
I'll be
Uh-huh.
honest. If we have any person working at Stanford Bridge, tell me your PayPal. I will pay you money for turning on the sprinklers after the game if we win on Barcelona. I will pay you money. Just up to $1,000. I will pay you money, dude. I'll pay you. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna hit you, man.
Bro, do you like? Okay, and if you look at the fixtures that we have, what do you guys want the first Champions League game to be? I think in terms of atmosphere and hype, Barcelona at the bridge,
Yeah,
as the first one.
Yeah.
Like
I think Ajax, I'd probably say. I think Ajax. I think Ajax's first game is a solid.
Ajax isn't bad, actually, either.
I hear.
Yeah, in terms of the
You know what? You don't want Barcelona to happen too fast, man. You don't want Barcelona to happen too fast.
True. No, I know, but also in terms of just getting the atmosphere, like early.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know,
it would hit.
you know who got a really good draw? Spurs.
Did they?
Spurs
Wait.
got a really, really good draw.
Who did they get?
Oh yeah, they're in Champions League, aren't they?
They
Bring
are.
up Spurs' draw because I saw it.
Right, they finished
It's like-
17th and still couldn't get it down.
Yeah.
I'll read it off to you. I'll read it off to you.
Barcelona got a good draw, didn't they? Except for us and one other team, I think. They got a really good draw.
Yeah, Real Madrid got cups.
Oh, what? The
Yeah, Real Madrid got yeah.
Yeah,
Barcelona
here it
got
is, here it
really
is.
easy teams there.
So Spurs got Dortmund, Villarreal, Slavia Prague, Copenhagen, PSG, Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt, and Monaco.
Oh, bro, they should win everything besides PSG. I ain't gonna lie.
They got some
And
solid
they'll give
teams.
and they'll give PSG a run for their money because they already kind of did against them in the Super Cup.
Nah, the
Yeah,
PSG
but
I think
those
they should
teams
do
that
well.
they're playing, like, it'll be interesting because we know Frank sets up well in big games against big sides, but out of all those teams that you've mentioned, the biggest side there is PSG, right?
Yeah, that's why I said they got a good run. They're
Yeah, but the
basically
likes
gonna-
but the other sides are, like, I guess, small enough, quote unquote, where maybe Spurs will try and actually come out and stamp authority, and then they'll get hit. Maybe I don't know.
maybe I don't see Frank doing
Being that naive, yeah, first.
Yeah, like if there was Ange, yeah, 100% agree with you. With Thomas Frank, like he's the one manager I did not want Spurs to get because I think he actually makes Spurs a decent side.
I agree.
So
They still don't have a good squad though. Once the Champions League starts, you will see their league form start to take a bit of a dip. I don't think they have a good squad. I don't think they don't have a good squad, bro.
Depth-wise, yeah.
I would say their squad's decent. It's hit and miss in some places is the issue.
like
Their
left wing.
center, their defensive depth isn't really that good.
Their
Their
midfield
having a
is not
defensive depth is
impressive,
fine.
in my opinion.
Yeah, the
One-
midfield is the issue.
really, like, once you go past, they've only got 3 fullbacks. Ben Davis is a backup fullback, I guess, if you want to count him.
They got
At centre back,
They've got
fine. I rate Romero, Van de Ven, and Danso. But, like, in terms of fullback depth, it's only 3 fullbacks they have.
Pedro Porro, Jed Spence.
Udogie.
Who the fuck else do they have there? Udogi.
Udogi.
And they're good
And
fullbacks.
Davies can't play that anymore.
They don't. Yeah, and their midfield, I don't know. I just think with Spurs, I don't think they actually have like quality depth. That's just my
Midfield's not that great. I agree.
I don't think they've
Yeah,
had.
the midfield
I don't
is-
think, and I don't think they've had good depth for a long time. They've always had solid 11s, but like in terms of actual depth, they've not had that for a long time, and that's why managers there have like struggled because once a couple of players get injured, you start seeing the depth is not actually that good, or they're playing 2 games a week with Europe.
Mhm.
You start to see that it's not that good. But so with Frank, it's going to be interesting how he actually tries to balance that with the league. That's why I think they'll have a dip. But once they get knocked out of Europe, I don't think they make it past round of 16. Then they'll pick up in the league.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I wanted to bring up too in regards to this is whatchamacallit. This Paphos David Luiz plays in that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so David Luiz will come back to. I think they're coming to the bridge. So David Luiz reunion with Chelsea, former Chelsea.
Did David Luiz even get a proper send off? Thomas.
I don't think he did.
Don't think so, but Marshall doesn't care either. He's not a hero or a legend to Marshall, so does he care? Right, Marshall?
Oh yeah, you don't like David Luiz.
Yeah, he doesn't rate him, bro.
I don't rate him highly.
Also, Marshall admitted he wasn't watching Chelsea back then. So.
No,
he watched.
Kind of did.
Luiz, he watched David Luiz first season when he came from Benfica, and then when David Luiz
First
had good
impressions,
seasons, okay,
you know?
2015, 2017.
Yeah, I
he's
missed
like,
those. I did miss those. Yeah, I did miss those. So yeah, no, I don't really rate David Luiz that highly. But hey, I respect.
Get his name out your mouth. Stop it.
David Luiz, hey.
We don't need to do this again because he has a stinky take of him anyway.
Yeah, sure.
What's your take on David Luiz?
No, let's not get into this. Too many segments today.
I'm just gonna say
there is too many segments today.
You don't rate him.
Too many segments today.
No, I don't rate him. Not that I don't rate him. I don't rate him highly. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's like a top class, or I don't think he's like a legend or anything like that. Maybe a cult hero.
In terms of center backs, is he below Gary Cahill?
I would agree. So yeah.
Is he below Christensen, Rudiger?
Yes.
Rudiger,
yeah.
Okay.
Alex is better than him.
Oh, no, that's where it gets crazy. That's where it gets crazy.
Like, it was already crazy anyway.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It was already crazy.
What other defenders have we had?
He's literally won it all. He's pretty much won most important trophies at Chelsea. But yeah, like
by himself.
No, but as a starter.
I'm being shameless now.
I know, yeah, that is, yeah. He can't win it by himself, exactly. But he was a starter, and he's a very
I get you.
Listen, David Luiz,
revolutionized the role.
David Luiz is a legend at the football club. I don't think.
100%.
Are you saying he's a better defender than Alex, or better?
He won our first Champions League with David Luiz.
I think he's
multiple Premier Leagues. He's done multiple Premier Leagues for us. He's played for us in multiple.
He's not a legend.
He is a legend.
When you say he's a legend, you're putting him in the same tier as John Terry.
Yes.
Yeah,
no, like see, like they don't have to be all like the same tier.
No,
like,
my problem.
I don't view like they're the same.
Like if there's a VIP room,
John Terry's
just legends.
You're
saying David Luiz and John Terry.
No, but they're not.
The problem is you can't. David Luiz is not.
It doesn't have to be the same like that.
You can't put David Luiz in a.
But you put Thiago Silva to say, is he same as John Terry at the club?
No.
Is he the same as John Terry at the club?
He's not. He's not.
Yeah, he's not.
They're not. But they can both be legends for sure. Right?
That's what I'm saying with David Luiz.
He won one Champions League. David Luiz won two leagues and a Champions League.
The amount of consistency that Thiago Silva gave me in 3 years versus David Luiz.
No, but still was not a Chelsea legend either.
How did David Luiz win?
I understand the argument for not having him.
Where is
Chelsea
David
legend. I
Luiz?
get it.
Wait, what did you say?
17 and 15.
He won 2015.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He got sold.
Well, no, wait, he got sold in.
No, didn't he?
No, he got sold.
He got sold to PSG. He might have been actually, yeah.
No. He got sold to PSG. Then he came back.
No, you're right.
I know
he came back. The time period. He came back.
No, you're right. No, it's 2017. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
Me personally, right? I personally think Silva's a legend. However, I won't necessarily debate it if someone says he's not. If he's just
that's where I stand with it.
David Luiz, I don't think he's a legend. However, I think he is.
He's not a hero though.
I think he's better than a cult hero, kind of.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because Ramirez is a cult hero.
What's under legend?
It's called hero.
For me, legend.
You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. Where does Icon rank then? Icon has to be between legend and.
I always thought Icon was the same as legend.
Yeah,
no. You know what I would say? Listen, this is what I would say.
No, it's higher, no?
I always say there's Icon.
Yeah, it's the highest.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why I put him in legend. But
like John Terry,
if that's how you look at it, then I agree.
Right, because you need to look at it. Like I always say, Lampard, Terry, Drogba,
Hazard, I would say.
icons.
Hazard,
Those guys
Zola.
are your icons, right?
Yep, yep.
When you think about them, those are like.
When you think about Chelsea, you think about them.
Wait,
That's-
so when you
Mhm.
say Chelsea, you mean face of the club, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Essentially, yeah. Like an
That's
icon,
what
yeah.
that's what I view. That's what I view legends. That's why I say legends is above icons.
No, those are
If you're a
icons. Because if you
legend,
think about
I mean,
Henry,
you
But,
know,
but your icon, but the thing for me is an icon means that they associate you with the badge. A legend can be someone that's done great things, right? But he may be remembered by the fans, but he's not.
no,
but he's
but
not
that's
remembered by
why I
the
say
club.
They are
that's an icon.
similar.
Because a legend is like, for example, United. When I think of United, I think of Beckham. I think of Giggs. I think of
Yeah, but
legend.
come on, they're not legends.
Hey, we
bro.
should put a poll list.
They're
Which one's
greater
ahead
than
of
legends.
who?
They're icons, bro. They're
Icon
no-
or a legend?
They're icons,
No,
bro.
but-
That's icons.
Yeah, but I don't know how you can
Getting
put
rid of
icon above
segments
a
as we
legend. I'll be
speak.
real.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can
no,
do
icon
that.
is above a
Well,
legend.
I knew
segments-
we shouldn't have gone to this because
No.
Anyways, why we move
You tried to
on,
warn us,
move
Chris. You did try to
Like,
warn us.
for example, right?
we've been down this road.
Diego Costa.
It's a
I
fascinating
think
discussion.
you could
He's a cult
arguably say
hero.
he was iconic for us, but he's not a legend. He's not a
He's a
Drogba.
cult hero, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like that level. I agree.
Yeah, that's
he's
why
not
I
a
say
legend.
icon is between legend and
No, icon's
where did-
higher than legend. Because
See,
you
that,
think of
we have a
icons
different
as
understanding of meaning
poster
to it. Like,
childs for the. No, you think of icons as poster childs for the sport or the team. That's what.
that's how I
icons
view it for too. But like,
That's how
I see
view it.
Brian's way too.
So,
But I don't know which one you can really
Anyway.
say which is ahead. But
yeah, but anyway, listen, let's go on, man. Marshall, because
Yeah.
I'm short on time because I have to be on an hour.
And
Yeah, no, I get you.
there's certain someone that's been signed that I want Scott to speak about, even though I heard it in Lewis's channel. But you know what I'm saying?
Fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Sam,
gonna
talk
skip
about
this
it.
segment then.
Well, actually, I gotta talk to Prime about this, right? Prime, yeah. I gotta talk to Prime about that.
I have to move this one.
How about me? All right, listen,
yeah.
yeah, it's what it is, man.
You
All
know
right.
that.
do.
Okay. Let's move on to the next segment I wanted to talk about. UCL registration stuff. So let's put this on the screen real quick. So just to keep some people on the loop here and also keep myself on the loop on this one. So as part of the settlement agreement with UEFA, Chelsea must ensure any changes between the list A they submit this time and the one they entered for the knockout phase of the Conference League results 6 months ago results in a positive transfer balance. This relates to the wages and transfer fee amortization. In the worst case scenario, if Chelsea's transfer balance is greater than in February, then one or more of the new signings will have to be left out of the Champions League squad. Chelsea are confident this will not be an issue. Now, this goes on to continue with The Athletic here, also reporting that if Chelsea's transfer balance is greater than in February, the worst scenario is that one or more of the new signings will have to be left out of the Champions League squad. But Chelsea, like I said, is confident that they can get it done. So, as far as things stand right now, I think we need to get rid of Nicholas Jackson. And if we do get rid of Nicholas
No, we don't,
Jackson, what happened?
No, we don't. We got told we had to get rid of Nicholas Jackson to sign someone else. And we signed someone else without getting rid of Nicholas Jackson. So I assume we're absolutely fine.
That's possible.
That's what I was told. That's what this fan base, that's what
No,
this
you're not
club
wrong.
kept putting out there through its mouthpiece. We got told that in order for us to sign he who shall not be named yet, we had to sell Nicholas Jackson. He hasn't left the football club.
Yeah,
He hasn't left
but
the football club.
Yeah, but Scott, to be fair,
We're
we're Nkunku's leaving, so that spot is then free for.
Yes, no, but Prime. That,
No,
again,
he's not leaving.
no,
but,
Prime. We got told
Prime.
again, Prime.
Yeah,
We got
Scott's
told
right.
that
Scott's
we got
right.
told that if Nkunku left, that allowed us to sign Simmons.
Yes.
Did
Wait,
actually
wait,
say
wait,
like
I'm gonna
would
check Prime.
Yes.
Wait, say that again, Scott. You said what?
So we got told multiple times by multiple sources coming out from the club, in order for us to sign Simmons, the reason why we hadn't signed Simmons yet, it was taking a long time. We needed to sell Nkunku first.
He's not lying. It was said
But,
that
In order for us to sign, who we'll speak about later,
listen,
we had to sell
yeah,
Garnacho. So not Garnacho, we had to sell Jackson.
Yeah, so
Jackson
listen. So I want to just make the point. Listen, I think I understand what Scott is saying. I'm just going to move past that because listen, we all know that's never gonna. That was never. The club, they say one thing and then we know what the reality is.
Yeah, I know it's bullshit. It's just that I'm trying to understand what this club
The only
is
thing I am
more
interested in-
fan base.
One thing I am interested in now is that obviously I know we're going to speak about Nkunku later, but if you look at the value you saw Nkunku at, Nkunku's value is not the value that's on the books, by the way. That's less. So we're selling him at a loss right now, by the way. So I am interested to see how that then affects who you're going to bring in. What does that mean? Does that mean you have to bring him in for less of a value? Like, what does that mean, by the way? Because, you know, if there's certain people that we are allegedly targeting from Barcelona as well, who are asking for quite high fees, how does that then work, if that makes sense, right? Because this is where sometimes, I do say...
It must be fine.
You know what I mean? It must be fine. But, like, this is sometimes where I do say, like, I look at the club, I'm like, guys, like, you know, I feel like, you know, I'm not understanding how things work here. You know what I mean? I feel like at times it's never we never. I feel like Chelsea's books are like what's a good example to use? The Chelsea's book value is like what's that? I can't think of a thing, but it's like a decipher. Like you never know what's true. You know what I mean? Every time you think you've seen something, bro, yeah, it's someone else sees something else. And so for me, listen, at the end of the day, if we can bring in these guys, bring them in. If we can't, let's not. But, you know, with Chelsea and the books, they always find a loophole anyway. So.
Yeah. Does anyone know where we stand currently? In
On
terms of, like, we should be
so
good
sorry,
now?
I'm just so sorry. I'm sorry. Just quickly on Neuro Beats comment. Listen. The problem is, bro, add-ons don't kick in right away, bro. So what you need to also look at what is going to be the initial hit. So it's 42 million euros, which is like 38 million pounds, right? That's 38 million pounds. In terms of like what Nkunku's book value is 40 million, bro. So you're taking a minus 2 million book hit right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So obviously, in terms of how things stand, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I was told, and multiple sources have said, that both Jackson and Nkunku need to be sold in order to make room for the likes of Garnacho and Simmons and all this and that. We've read it multiple times on the show. And in terms of the registration, I guess time will tell. We will find out when we get to that point. But so because some people here have limited time and I want to get everyone's opinion on this, we're going to expedite the show a little bit and then move the other stuff to a little bit towards the end of the show. Let's talk about what just happened a few hours ago. Let's just get right into it. Garnacho. I thought you were going to do this. All right, it's happened. It's Super Saiyan Enzo has landed into fucking yeah.
No
right.
wonder. See, a disgraceful player
and that
for
landed
some
at Chelsea.
A disgraceful anime. There you go, man.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So it started off like this. Due to restrictions from their UEFA punishment in July, Chelsea must record a positive transfer balance in relation to their last season's Champions League squad in order to register new players. Since Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho is cheaper, Chelsea will act on that move first, according to Miguel Delaney. Now, let's fast forward to 2 days ago. Man United continue to insist on a £50 million for Alejandro Garnacho, have had multiple bids rejected and are not yet close to that number yet. All parties expect to find a compromise before the week is out, right? Okay, we continue on. Chelsea and United are expected to find a compromise before the week's end for Alejandro Garnacho to join. Then we have here Chelsea are keen on United winger Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons, but their arrivals will depend on players leaving first, right? We just said that. So, which is why no transfer has happened yet. This is related to complying with the UEFA situation, according to The Athletic. Let's continue on. United have insisted they want £50 million of Garnacho, but in Chelsea's favor is the fact that the 21-year-old only wishes to join them and has resisted rival approaches, according to Chris Wheeler. Fabrizio, who has been the biggest cheerleader for Garnacho this whole entire saga and has absolutely been obnoxious, making this a lot worse than it needs to be. Chelsea and United locked in talks for Alejandro Garnacho's transfer. Confirmed their proposal worth 35 to 40 million pounds as total package, waiting for United's green light. The deal will happen, just a matter of time, as Garnacho only wants Chelsea. Here we go soon. Ben Jacobs also says, understand Chelsea have made progress on Alejandro Garnacho in the past 24 hours as they hope to strike a deal for under Manchester United's £50 million strike asking price. Nothing agreed yet between the clubs, but the gulf in valuation is now smaller. All parties will expect the deal to happen. And we have here from Sam Wallace in the earlier in the day yesterday. Breaking: Chelsea are on the verge of sealing Alejandro Garnacho move for up to £40 million, reports Sam Walliser Telegraph, who pretty much nailed it spot on. Justin confirmed the proposal worth 35 to 40 million pounds for Garnacho. Garnacho only wants Chelsea, and the here we go is coming soon. We have here from the Telegraph as well. At the level of the deal, there's a realistic market for Garnacho beyond Chelsea should it not work out. With only a few expectations, business is done and potential trading of the player further down the line should it not work out, which, okay, the way I see that is that he could potentially be flipped if things don't work out, right? And then we go. Ornstein to pretty much start us off here. Chelsea reached agreement with Manchester United to sign Alejandro Garnacho deal for 21-year-old worth £40 million fixed fee plus a 10% sell-on clause. Contract till 2032, so that is 7 year.
7 years.
Medical schedule for London on Friday as Argentinian international joins Chelsea from Manchester United. And Ornstein having an orgasm here. Breaking: Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea. Here we go. Deal done between Chelsea and United. Garnacho only wanted Chelsea and will sign 7-year deal at the club for a fee close to 40 million package. Story from July confirmed. More like June, really, but Alejandro Garnacho will be having his test on Friday and contract signing for new Chelsea player. £40 million confirmed with 10% sell-on clause agreed between Manchester United. So I'll say what I have to say on this, and obviously I'll let you guys speak on it. But one positive thing about this is that if it doesn't work out, I'm expecting Paul Winstanley to get the sack. So there's one positive thing, because it seems from
It just signed an extension, bro. So how's that happening?
Yeah, why do you expect that?
That don't mean shit. So I'm expecting that because I'm trying to tell you, news has reported that he was the biggest advocate for it. And then there was another report too, which if you want, I can really find it and I can send it to you in different time because it's gonna take me too long. That apparently, like, he's put so much stake in this that it could be a make or break. He's the only one that's been pushing this, according to the journals.
Follow-up question. Has Robert Sanchez been a success at Chelsea Football Club?
No, but he's not been a failure either.
Okay, no, so he's not been a success. Hold on. He's not been a success. Is Ben Roberts still here?
We're talking about middle name?
No, just briefly. Is Ben Roberts still here, Marshall?
Yeah.
Cool. So there's no guarantee, even if Garnacho doesn't do well, is not a success, that Winstanley gets sacked. Because Winstanley should have been sacked long ago. Same with Stewart. The fact that Disasi came in on Stewart's back, did shit, and we're still trying to get rid of him. We haven't got rid of him yet.
He's on the cusp, though. But the thing is, like, for me, a failure would be Mudryk level, right? We're like,
we've already had a Mudryk level, and neither of them got sacked for it. They've already done multiple things, Marshall, for them to get the sack.
Are you saying Robert Sanchez is a Mudryk level signing?
I think he's been as shit. I don't think he's been a positive on this football club outside of that Club World Cup final. In any way, shape, or form.
Mudryk has literally been a negative. Like, Mudryk has lost.
So has Robert Sanchez in most of his.
No, he hasn't.
Most of Robert Sanchez's Chelsea career, outside of that Club World Cup final, has been a negative.
I think this is complete agenda, but
I hear what you're saying. Hold on. We had the keeper with the. We had one of the keepers with the worst. Actually, let me rephrase that. We had one of the players who joint top of errors leading to goals. He was also joint top of errors leading to a shot on target.
Yeah, but you know what a failure of a keeper is? Onana.
Yeah, no,
like, he's not Onana.
Sanchez is
Marshall,
really bad.
The reason why, listen, what Scott is saying,
he is.
Like,
no, he's not.
I personally don't. I comparing it to Mudryk, I personally don't disagree with that. However, the reason why it doesn't look like that is because we've, as a team, we've achieved more with Sanchez.
It does pay.
We got top 4. We had a brilliant,
but that's what I said. He has been a complete net outside of the World Cup.
You know how I feel about Sanchez. I despise the guy, but on paper,
I don't like him either.
On paper, no, okay, you defend him, but on paper, he's not a Mudryk level. On paper, they still deem him good enough to be our goalkeeper until Penders is magically good enough.
I mean, to be fair, also, like, for the amount of money we paid for him, he's not been like if it was like Onana level money and he has Onana level performances, like that's a big thing.
How much did Onana cost?
50.
Onana was
40
around
million, 45
40
to
million.
45 million.
And how much
and
did
Sanchez was like
cost?
25, I think, or 20.
25 million.
25 million sweetener, as we call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to spend.
One sec.
But real quick, I never got to finish my point before you go, CP.
Okay.
Well, I will say this about Garnacho, right? I'll close out on this. On Garnacho. I don't like the attitude. The moment he does some bullshit like Mudryk did with the whole gym thing, whatever the fuck, the moment you get into some controversy, I want you out of the club. The very moment. Like, that's how much I don't like this attitude. That's been the number one reason I've stated on here multiple times. You guys can vouch that I don't want him at the club. Because performance-wise, I don't think he's horrible, especially after what we saw with Grimsby. I really now am more convinced that United really is a shithole for a lot of these players to end their careers. Like, it really makes players look a lot worse than they actually are. So I'll back the player. I'm not going to do agendas or any of that. I'll back the player to succeed at Chelsea. I think we all want him to succeed and prove us wrong. Some of us doubt that he will, and I might be one of those people that doubt, but I will back the player, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to have an agenda on him this season. I know CP wanted to say something before. Okay.
Actually,
wait,
sorry,
1 second. Let's go CP, then Ahmed, then Prime. Because CP wanted to say something before.
I just want to say.
Also, sorry. By the way, I do need to leave by like 5 to midnight because I got another thing to go to. So
That's fine.
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, CP.
I just want to preface this, Scott. I'm on my troll shit now. I'm in my dark villain era, so we're gonna go with this. Sanchez did have one of the high save percentages in the league, you know what I'm saying? So hashtag, my goalkeeper.
That's nasty life, man. That's nasty life.
I know.
Even for me, that's too much.
But other than that, today is a sad day. I'll be honest. Like the hype that I felt over you know how people were saying like the hype died down for them when we drew to Crystal Palace. Now this signing dampened that mood that I had all summer, where I was proud of my club, the signings. Oh my god, everything's popping off. We're making banger of sales. Crystal Palace didn't bring my mood down. This signing did. 40 million with 10% add-ons for maybe a backup.
10% sell-on clause.
Yeah, who doesn't even work for us because we like retaining possession and he likes giving away possession.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope he turns into a super sub and then we can loan him to some other place next summer when Quenda joins us, and then we can sell him for profit because that's the only thing we can hope to do. And I hope he's not on stupid wages. I don't think he would be because
no, there's no way. Not with us.
in United, he's on 50K a week. So even if we add another 100K on top of that, he'll be on 150. So it shouldn't be too bad to move, hopefully.
Ahmed, talk to me.
I'm so sad. No. On a serious note, I think me and you, Marshall, have been on the exact same page about Garnacho for long as well. Like, when this link started, I think me and you both were like, the transfer is going to happen. I don't think... I don't know why people...
I've been in denial, but yeah.
Like, I was never in denial about the transfer happening because I need, if the club likes someone
Prime was.
and they really want something, they eventually will happen, bro. So when Garnacho League started happening, I was like, it's very real possibility that they get him. And I think for me, listen, even from a price perspective, I think it's 40 million. I don't think it's like a full fee of 40 million. It seems to be like a 30 million.
No, it's a fixed fee.
A fixed fee, sorry, my apologies then.
It's a
Even then, for only 40 to get only 40 million for him, which is what I expected to happen as well. I think again, from a club perspective, it's a solid deal in terms of the money they brought in for, and the stuff they brought in for, in my personal opinion. Now, again, do I rate the player on a personal level? I don't think the player is a good enough player, but I think if we look at just precedents, right? All right, of people that have left United and how they've turned out post United career, you know what I mean? I genuinely think, yeah, he could be another one which, looks to bang, if that makes sense, and actually has a good performance in my personal opinion. And that's just me being, I think, a lot more fairer to him at the end of the day. So, and again, if you look at what he does underlying wise, in terms of the way he's able to drive with the ball, his acceleration and stuff like that, a lot of his base stuff, right, suits what Maresca likes from his wingers. So again, there's a lot of that stuff. Now, of course, the cons, we've spoken about them before, are quite heavy. But you like to think, hopefully, Chelsea's a bit more of a healthier environment. You've got a much better manager there and stuff like that, and stuff like that. For me, I think that's going to be a lot more of a, hopefully, a bit more of a successful environment I like a team that's losing to Grimsby Town in League 2. So I'm just going to put that out there too. But listen, I hope for the best for him. But listen, guys, we still probably got to tell another player. It looks like whoever it may be, who's going to be still competing for him in that position. You've got Pedro Neto in that position. You've got Gittins in that position. You've still got guys there anyway that are currently still ahead of him in the pecking order. Now it's up to him to then prove that he's going to be able to, be of that level as well. So that's what I would also say.
Yeah, Prime, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, when you were saying something about players leaving United and doing well, the players that have left United and that have done well have shown when they were at United, be it being in little purple patches and spells, that they actually have some sort of quality or something about them. Garnacho doesn't have anything about him. He's not had any real purple patches to show that there's something there to really go off.
That's not true. He's had a
he
lot of
did.
moments.
He did.
It's not being disingenuous at all.
No. There was a purple patch. I'm not even on the troll shit.
Yeah.
Before Amrin, the Ten Hag season.
You remember last season? Yeah.
Exactly. The Ten Hag season.
Statistically, he was scoring goals in the Ten Hag season before when they won the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup.
All right. I didn't interrupt that. I didn't interrupt any of you guys.
Yeah.
Cool. He got 17. He got 17 G in that season.
I didn't interrupt any of you guys. You're naming me one patch, but I can name other players that have left United and done well. They've had multiple patches where they've looked good and shown that there's actually something about them, not just a little purple patch. So that's redundant. This Garnacho stuff, I said before, like multiple times on Chic TV and stuff, that the reason why I said at the time it wasn't happening was because United wanted 50. We weren't willing to go above. We valued him at 30, and we were just getting the same reports over and over and over for like a month or so. And I was like, if not, so long as nothing's changed, I have no reason to believe it's actually going to happen. However, the past couple of days when I saw that we offered Tyreek George or in a swap deal or something, and they rejected that and stuff. When I saw that was actually looking like we're actually going to get him on stream yesterday with Mike's, as Mike's and I have a show every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on his channel, GVO Mike's, check it out, guys. On his channel, we actually spoke on this Garnacho stuff, and I actually crashed out about that. But as of now, I don't really care because I know I don't like that he's here, but I know he's eventually going to leave in a year or two, and he'll look better because he's in our structure and system and stuff, fine. But, he's still not going to be actually that good. And maybe he'll improve to look better than what he currently is. But it's still not really going to be good enough. But we'll get rid of him. We'll get rid of him for money. What I don't like is the fact of we raised it up to 40. The fact that we met United halfway and they have a 10% sell-on clause, I don't like that either. I really hate that.
Me either.
But I don't get how we're getting cucked by United. It's bad, but I don't know. My only hope is that. I say hope. If Garnacho ends up being very bad in terms of his attitude and performances and whatever, I don't care about 17 GA and whatever. Then hopefully that's enough to get rid of Win Stanley, who wants him. But again, who knows? Because you're going to have to be Mudryk level and actually show that you're Mudryk level. Not just Sanchez say being Mudryk level, but in terms of the stats and the metrics and the team performances, we actually improve massively. So it doesn't really matter, but whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't really. If anyone wanted to see me crash out and stuff, you can go back and watch Max's stream. I'm not
There's no reason to crash out though. Can I just say? I'm so sorry, bro. I'm gonna ask you a question, so you can continue on. But there's no reason to crash out here, guys.
I don't mean crash out. What? I mean being annoyed with it and frustrated. I've got all of that out yesterday, so I don't really care. Is what
Fair
it is.
enough.
It is what it is now. I'm just annoyed that we don't have a goalkeeper, which I knew we weren't going to get one anyway because of the Benders being the big hope. And I'm also annoyed we don't have a centre back because we spoke about this on Lewis's channel. Colwell's out. He could possibly be out for the whole season. Let's assume he's out for the whole season because the injury he has, I don't expect him to just come back and be flying. Tosin is the only one that can really play in the middle of the back three. Afana can't really do it. Achifong is talented, but he's not best playing in there. And for those of you who don't know, Tosin has declared to play for Nigeria. He did that in the summer. So if he gets picked to play for AFCON, to play for Nigeria at AFCON is on the 21st of December this year. Hold that, Jez. Ghana's not going to be there, you fried egg merchants.
And we still got the sauce.
If he gets picked to go AFCON, we don't have a centre back that can play in the middle. And you know what? The tactical switch would be to have our goalkeeper play out the back. But our goalkeeper can't do that. But yet, he is top 5 shot stoppers in this league and better than Donnarumma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.
I didn't say it was better than Donnarumma.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I didn't say you did.
But Prime is right about Tosin too, because what's gonna happen is the mood is not going to be good either, because when Tosin eventually gets knocked out of the competition, because Nigeria always bottle it, hold that, Prime, he's going to be not
good point.
I just want to get that into.
I don't mind
that's actually not even a bad point.
You can say that, Dig, that's fine, but like, I don't even, like, Tosin should get called up for AFCON. However, he's just pledged for us. Knowing what Nigeria is like and just African football in general and our nation's being corrupt, I don't know if he'll actually get called up. I hope he does in terms of my country's sake. However, for Chelsea, he shouldn't be because we actually need him. We don't have anyone else that can do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what's interesting, right? Anselmino can actually play in the middle of a 3. That's what he's going to be doing at Dortmund. So it probably wouldn't be good to keep him. I mean, I would have liked for us to actually buy a centre back. I would have liked for us to actually buy a centre back. Not getting linked to him, even though I rate Hinchampe highly, you've bought Hato who can do that role. Hinchampe can't play in the middle of the 3, so that's useless buying him. But whatever, like, it's so annoying because, after the Club World Cup, a bit after the Club World Cup, when we got Gittins and all of that, I actually started like rating our window for the first time in a very long time. I was liking our squad, and I was thinking, you know what? For the first time, I'm not really gonna cuss our sporting directors and what we're doing. I'm just gonna let them cook for the rest of the window and see what happens.
That didn't last long, did it?
Because I didn't want. Everyone knows I wanted Osimhen. I didn't want the lap, but you know what? The lap actually suits the way we play. João Pedro didn't watch him out, but he suits the way we play. Gittins, even though he's young, he suits the way we play. So I was like, cool. Let's see what they do. The Magnon thing, hey, they were kind of right about because we still won the Club World Cup without Sanchez, but we still need a goalkeeper. But I'll let them cook and see what happens. But as of now, you fucked it up with Garnacho. We don't have a goalkeeper, and we don't have a centre back that can deputize Tosin or play ahead of Tosin. So, Maresca, listen, bro. Hey, you've got a massive job, but listen.
Long day.
Maresca's my guy.
Maresca, you got a major. Listen, man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I feel like this. Oh, we're feeling sorry for the manager. The manager has ample stuff.
Who said I'm feeling sorry for the manager?
No, but Maresca's got a job in his hands. Listen.
But no one said I'm feeling sorry for the manager.
He's not fighting demons, bro.
Ahmed. No one said I'm feeling sorry for the manager. You just like hearing what you like to hear.
He does.
No, you literally just said right now, when Black Crew, Prime just said, yes. Maresca's got a big job in his hands.
Yes, Maresca has a job in his hands. That's not me.
So
That's not me. That's not what it means. That's literally not what it means. That's literally not what it means. Listen. I don't know what type of English they teach at a private school, Clarence, but that's not what it means. So,
right. Why does no one admit that he feels sorry for Maresca?
I don't feel sorry for Maresca. You took the job. And I know Maresca can get through it, but it's going to be annoying. It's going to be frustrating because we're close. We're so close to actually jumping up the level that we should jump, but we're like, it's like we took 2 steps forward early in the window, and we're now just, I don't know, it's annoying, but whatever. I've actually got to go. So yeah, peace everyone. CP, is there Because is there anything you actually want to make fun of me about Garnacho stuff, or are you going to do that on Mud Brothers?
Oh,
No?
well, don't worry. We'll wait for that on Monday, my friend.
Okay, cool. Well, we're live tomorrow, so we can do that tomorrow. But yeah, whatever.
Yes,
Everyone, like and subscribe to Casually FC. Subscribe to Sarcasm City Clips channel. Subscribe to the Bridge Nation, even though nations are frauds. But yeah, whatever.
Big up,
How it ignored me.
But yeah, listen, I think I feel like there's this fascination, right, with having the perfect window. And to be quite frank, I kind of agree with what Prime was saying at the end there. I don't feel bad for Maresca. Like, I don't. I think he's talented enough to figure out a solution in-house with not having a center back. That's why when people saying like, oh, Levi Colwell is out with an injury, our title hopes are done, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, are we really going to give up that easily? Like, as if last season we didn't have that same exact conversation about we don't have wingers, we don't have a striker. How the fuck is Maresca going to get through this? And what the fuck happened? He got through it. And like, I understand that role that Levi Colwell plays is
hold on, no, Marshall. He got through what? He got top 4.
Yeah. And a lot of people didn't even expect us to get top 4.
No, that's the argument here. I think we get top 4 this season regardless of who our centre backs are. That's not the argument. The argument here is a lot of Chelsea fans, myself included, wanted us to win something this year. We're not winning shit with our centre backs.
No, like the big two, not like
we're
the FA Cup.
one of the big two with our centre backs and goalkeeper how they currently are.
Yeah.
Especially with that's why we want another centre back. Because not getting another centre back means you're capping. Not getting another centre back and not getting another goalkeeper means you're capping what you can do for this season. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with top 4, because I think we get top 4 regardless, because we're good enough to get top 4. Our squad was already good enough to get top 4, and we have improved massively up front despite this signing. We have obviously added in midfield. We've added some pieces, depth pieces, like obviously Hato. Our squad is still good enough to get top 4. I even think we can probably get top 3. That's the highest we're getting this season.
You think we can get top 3?
Yes.
If we just stop with Garnacho, right? If we just stop with Garnacho, you think we can get top 3 still?
Yes. I still think we can get top 3 because I think that Man City is still unknown for me, a complete unknown, because their defense is still a mess. If they get Donnarumma, it changes a lot. I don't know how their attack all works together.
Doesn't change.
I'm just thinking we're like very thin for the.
We're not getting top 4.
Scott,
No,
I'm
not
just
top 4.
thinking.
Sorry, we're not getting higher than top 3.
Oh, definitely, but like I'm thinking like we're very thin for like the centre back area. Like
We are.
We're not.
Yeah, but so
We're
is
just
Man
missing
City.
Colwell.
Akanji's just left.
I don't know what we're going to get from
centre back.
Fofana, by the way. Fofana obviously is back, but I don't know if he's going to stay fit. If he stays fit, then yeah, I think we'll be fine for top 4. But if he doesn't, then I'm thinking we might even struggle for top 4 this season.
What I'm saying,
and I'm saying not to say we'll finish 6th or 7th. I'm just saying maybe it'd be top 5 or something.
but the reason we're having this debate, because right, like I again, and again, we're gonna have this debate. We're not gonna agree. I feel staunchly how I feel. Scott feels how he feels. You guys feel how you feel, right? And again, we're trying to talk about Garnacho, right? But
What
what I'm saying is, even with Levi Colwell missing, I still think we get 2nd place.
That's crazy.
That's
What?
You're
I am
fucking
not.
crazy.
And again, I already said we're not going to agree on this.
this.
No, but the thing is, like,
Crazy.
I don't understand how you look at Liverpool and how they've been cut open like a knife through butter. They need center backs, and they're not getting any center backs. Yet they're supposed to still be the favorites to get the win the league.
Yeah,
Even though
I will
everyone else
say-
around them have reinforced in other areas that they didn't need to reinforce.
And
they
they're going to
haven't.
reinforce. No,
We haven't reinforced either.
And they're
Our
going to
defense is
reinforce
worse
it
than
more.
theirs.
They can
Yes,
still
we
get
have.
Isaac
We got
because what?
Hato who can play in that position. We have Achibug who has
The
another
fuck
year of
you have to
experience
think
under
to
his
play
belt. Like we
I don't know
have
what
more
we're
depth than
Oh, yes,
people think.
Marshall. Did Hato look good when he came in against West Ham?
I didn't know.
He's gonna need time to adapt.
So he needs fucking time then. Cool. So we haven't improved the defense then, because he needs time anyway. Cool. I'm glad we've reached that consensus. Fantastic.
And he mostly
Their
played
defense is
left
still
back
messing
last
up.
season.
Okay, so our defense is gonna remain this shit the whole season. Yeah, it's not
So
even shit.
their defense-
The level that the
Marshall,
defense is at right now, it's
hold
gonna
on,
remain
hold
this
on.
level the whole
So
season.
hang on,
I don't know if we get top 3 again.
Hold on.
So we don't believe in
Hold on.
improvement.
No, Marshall, hold on.
No, it's not
So-
gonna with Levi Colwill. It's not gonna be better
Hang on
than
a second.
Liverpool
Hang on a
and
second.
Arsenal.
Let's rewind a second. Let's use your argument against you.
Yes.
So Liverpool's defense is going to look as shit as it did his first 2 games the rest of the season.
Yes, because their players have
Why?
hit their prime.
Based on what?
They're not players that are going
Based
to
on what?
improve. Based on the
Based
fact
on
that
what?
they have
They-
Van Dijk, Gomez, and Konate, who hasn't looked anything like he did last season. Yes, he
Based on
might
2 games.
solidify a
Based
little
on-
better.
based
He
on
might
2
get
games.
better.
Very
Hold on,
bad.
Their,
hold on.
their,
Based
their
on-
defense is
hold on.
aging, and their fullbacks
Based
have not
on-
been great at all.
Marshall.
And those are Premier League
Marshall,
proven
based on
fullbacks.
2 games. Based on 2 games.
Based
Yeah,
on
like
2
I'm all down
games,
for
yes.
agendas, but
Cool. So
No.
so what you're saying is your argument is as fucking ludicrous as any other argument you can make because you're basing this entire thing of Liverpool aren't the favourites on 2 games.
You guys are literally sitting here saying we can't win second place without Levi Colwill based on what? 2 games.
no.
Last season.
not
I
You
just
haven't.
2 games.
You haven't.
Last-
No,
last
because
season we had
last-
Colwill all season,
no,
and
based on
some of
last
us didn't expect
season.
us to make
Based
top
on
4.
last
I was one of the
season.
few people here saying that we're going to make
Hey,
top 4
hey,
despite our
I had the
schedule
top-
with
I had
Levi
the top
Colwill
five.
there.
Wait,
No,
wait,
Marshall,
hold up,
we
hold
based
up,
it off
hold up.
last season because of how
No,
players
you haven't-
performed.
Yes,
Okay,
and we
do-
don't know. We don't know how Achimpong is going to perform in this
Okay.
position. He
Marshall,
might grow into the
so what
position.
you're telling me is our entire defense, is relying
That's
on
what
an
people say,
18-year-old,
CP.
19-year-old kid adapting to the system that he has to like. That's what our defense is relying on.
Brother, Arne Slot in the 99th minute put on a Rio that actually won them the game, who's 16. Don't sit
Right.
here and pretend
No,
that you can't put
okay.
an 18-year-old in the
Oh my
game
God,
and he
this
can
is
step up
such
to the
a-
level.
this
They
is
can't.
CP, am I going crazy? So you're comparing
no, Scott,
a player coming on. No, we're going to do this. We're going to do this stupid argument. You're comparing a player coming on in a one-off game to make a difference.
in the 95th minute, by the way. In the
in the
95th minute,
90-something
the
minute
90th,
to comparison, in
100th
comparison
minute.
to a
Yeah.
player having to adapt
90 minutes.
for a 38-game season.
I'm playing 90 minutes as much as possible.
So
compared to 5 minutes.
let me
of the
get
sub.
this straight.
Do you understand how stupid that sounds?
Let me get this straight. So just because logically
Mhm.
we can say, oh, an 18-year-old can't be relied on, right? That
No, he
it's
needs to be
gonna
generational.
No, I
then.
didn't
No,
say
he needs to be
that,
generational.
Marshall.
He
I
needs
said
to be
it's-
generational center
the
back.
entirety of our defense is reliant on 2 people. It's reliant on Tosin staying fit and available the whole season, or it's reliant on Josh Achimpong stepping up to a level where he can play in that system, which, like you just said, with Hato is going to take time. Cool. So it's going to take time. How long does it take? 2 months? 3 months?
we don't know.
Cool. So that's potentially 2 or 3 months. You just having to wing it defensively. What team
Scott,
wins a title if they
wait,
wing it
Scott,
defensively?
you know how-
Let's
you know-
forget.
You know what I don't understand is he's acting like the other 2 teams. I think we can get 3rd highest after the Colwill injury
Same.
Wait, third
because
highest what?
it's not
Top
in
3.
the Premier League, in the top 3.
Oh.
Third is the highest position, right? Because first of all, now because Newcastle have literally bought Walt Tamada for 80 million euros,
Well,
so Isak is definitely going to Liverpool. So that firepower is going to be more deadly than last year because they got Ekitike, who's better than Darwin Núñez already. You
Mhm.
just mentioned Rio right now, so he can continue developing. That's better firepower for them already, and you're including Isak. So that's better firepower already. And Wirtz, who hasn't looked good, but at least goal scoring wise, he's
He's
better
looking
than
like a
Szoboszlai.
glorified KDH
No, but
right now.
goal scoring wise, he's better than Szoboszlai.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
What I don't like,
And they still have
Is
Allison,
that-
by the way.
what I don't like, right, is that, and this happened all last season, and this is why I always fight it. I don't like that because we can go and follow a logic of like, yeah, we're relying on an 18-year-old. This is like not sensible. It's not a good thing. Like, how long are we gonna wait until he gets improved? Okay, cool. So we're gonna automatically write it off. It's that black and white, people. Like, there's no nuances to football. Have we not learned from this lesson last season before? We were like shit. We were playing like shit in January, February, and then we turned it around at the end of the season.
Yeah,
But we were so set and definitive right off the season, we're not going to get top 4. Yet I stood here, said, no, there's nothing to tell me that it can't turn around. It can't turn around.
Well,
there's nothing to tell me that we can't see action.
Marshall, I was one of them. I said in January we will beat United, and Scott's like, let me wait till we see it. And I said every
Yeah.
week and argue with
He did
Scott.
that.
So it's not like I wasn't on the same train as you, Marshall. And same with Chris. Chris was backing you longer than I was. He's been doing that since December when we started falling off. It was more so in the Feb part. But anyways, first of all, Arsenal just got Gyökeres, who's starting to bag. Okay, they're gonna add Nkapia to their defense, and they got a Zubamendi who's equal to.
Come on, man. CP, you just like, I'm sorry, I stopped listening after you said Gyökeres started to bang. It was against a horrible defensive Leeds, and he scored 2 goals. Let's see what he does against Liverpool.
Okay, so then João Pedro we're not going to count.
So hang on a second. So then,
no, João Pedro did it against PSG. João Pedro's done it against.
And this is where Marshall. This is where you get caught. This is Marshall. This is where you get caught. By the way, so we can't say that about Gyökeres. But you can say that Liverpool's defense is a shambles based on 2 games.
All I'm saying is that I'm not going to pretend like he's
started this.
Let me clarify, Scott, because you're misinterpreting me. The reason I just
Hey, let's finish.
the reason I just stopped CP is because I'm not going to sit here and say, all right, Gyökeres is now banging on. Brother, it was 1 game against Leeds. Let's see how he does against Anfield. Against Liverpool at Anfield.
I have to say that about João Pedro too. I have to say that about João Pedro too.
No, but João Pedro has given me more of a pool, and he has Premier League experience. And even then, in the beginning of the season, what did I say about João Pedro when we signed him? I don't expect him to get 10 goals. I expect him to give the rest of the team goals, and he's proving me wrong now.
Okay, and Gyökeres also scored against Man City. It's not like he's not scored against the same opposition we're hyping up against. He scored a hat-trick last season for Sporting. And he's in a better team now.
We'll see in the Premier League. Because I don't rate the UCL run. Because if we're going to go based off of how he did UCL, Guirassi's a better striker than him.
I mean, yeah, you can't just go based off UCL. Like, even Timo was cooking UCL for
Yes, but he still scored goals. So what are you talking about? João Pedro's not even played in the UCL.
Nicholas Jackson has scored goals. Like, what's your point? Like,
not a hat trick.
I will say, I'm not gonna say shit, but like,
I get what you're saying, but it was one of the worst City sides. We will see. Like,
no, he did it, and also, yeah, like he did it after when they already won the game. Basically,
I know we weren't great then.
We didn't win against them. We didn't win against City last season. We did not win against City last season.
Yeah, we were shit. I get it.
I have a bad feeling Gyökeres do well in the league, though.
Maybe, but I'm not going to say he's now.
I don't want him to do well. Fuck him.
I'm sorry. I completely derailed your point. Anyways, you were saying with Gyökeres
Arsenal have strengthened. They just added Eze too. I'm saying they added Eze too, so they've increased their firepower. You can say whatever you want. Gyökeres is better than Jesus and Kai Havertz, and even goal scoring wise. And they added Eze and Madueke as depth, even if you rate him or not. So they already finished second, so they were already better than us. And then Liverpool added more firepower. You can think whatever you want about their fullbacks, but Trent defensively was a liability. So Frimpong just has to make up offensively because they're both shit defensively. Yeah, and Kirkes and Robertson were both shit last season defensively as well. So it's all about Kirkes' output in terms of assists and offensively. So if they do that, it's basically the same thing. They're still keeping Alisson, who's fine. Not just had a run, but it's only been 2 games. Van Dijk's fine.
But they've been struggling, right? Is my point, and they haven't reinforced in that center back position where they need to.
We haven't either. We got weaker. We have not either reinforced. We have not reinforced.
Like we lost Colwell, and we
have. Well, okay, hold on. It depends on how you look at it, right? Because if you're looking at it from the defense we had during Club World Cup and towards the end of the Premier League season when we started, to do better, that defense did not include Fofana. That defense did not have Badiashile. We weren't considering Achimpong as a defender. It did not have Hato, who could play as a left center back in that position.
Yeah.
So
Badiashile is.
Who did it have though?
Badiashile played and got injured. That's another issue.
He got injured in the Club World Cup.
Wait, but Colwell played the end of the season still, and we lost him. For the whole season. Like I
ain't doing anything, Vic. But this is what I mean. Like, it's not so black and white.
What?
Because I genuinely don't hold this opinion.
Our attack got stronger this season, I will say, but our defense got weaker.
Our attack got stronger.
We actually improved our attack.
Our defense got weaker, but defense only got weaker because we're missing a player.
They haven't got better. Our defense has got weaker because we lost.
Weaker. Just say it's
you know what? If Reece James
it got weaker in the
whole
sense of
season,
like
it got stronger in a way, but we still need that centre back. We got no real good centre back.
It did get weaker a little bit because ultimately you did lose your best centre, like who is currently on form our best centre. So it got weaker in that sense, but it hasn't got weaker in terms of like we've dropped off massively. My point is it hasn't improved at all. Like, and that's the issue for me of like, yes, it was third best in the league last season, 100%. That's why I think we can get top 3. My issue is it's not better than Arsenal's, and I'm not going off 2 games. It's not better than Liverpool's until proven otherwise.
I don't think it's going to be better.
Like, I need a bigger, I need a way bigger sample
Man
size.
City.
I need a way bigger
You
sample
think it's better than
size.
City?
I think it probably is better than City's now, just because, as I said, they're a mess defensively.
Their
So
They are a bit-
fallbacks are also their fallbacks.
I don't know what,
worse
like,
defensively.
I have
Well,
no
Newcastle's
idea,
defense.
I have
Newcastle's
no idea
always
what
got
they
defense.
I have no idea what they're. That's why I said they're a complete unknown to me, because they just look a bit of a mess. I have no idea what the whole situation with them is. I'm kind of not. I think they finished
Doing
4th.
prediction.
Rams.
They're
Yeah,
a bit
Bond.
of a mess. The
Oh.
what was it say? We haven't improved though. So we have Arsenal are improving in terms of the getting Nketiah. It's not a massive improvement, but it is an improvement in terms of depth. Liverpool's has stayed basically the same. Obviously, they've switched players, but I agree with CP from a weakness perspective. Like, I don't think Kirk is worse defensively than Robertson. Same with Frimpong and Sarr.
Especially last year, if you're talking about
Trent,
history, it's different.
Yeah, like it's just a case of it's getting them getting comfortable. Like I said, I'm also not using a 2-game sample size. That's stupid. If 7-8 games down the line they're still having the same issues, then we can revisit this conversation.
There's context to the 2 games, right?
There's not context. What context?
There is. It's a Bournemouth side that was stripped of the defenders, right? So they're not nearly as
Hold
good.
on. No, okay, so were they stripped of their attackers?
No.
No.
There was Semenyo.
No, and Semenyo, we already know is one of the better wingers in this league, scored 2 goals. So why is that surprising that Semenyo, who we know is good, scored 2 goals? And it's fair enough. Newcastle didn't have a striker. It's still a very good attack.
And they lost. They was down to 10 men.
If they conceded those
bad.
goals, I'd hear your point more if they conceded those goals like Leeds and Everton and stuff like that, right? I'd understand that. They conceded to teams you expect to score.
But Scott, did you actually you are kind of? Did you expect them to really concede 2 against Newcastle at 10 men? I didn't.
With 10 men,
no,
no
I
Isak.
I'll be real. I didn't. They lost Gordon as well.
The issue with Newcastle
But
was
that's just one game,
finishing,
though,
'cause I watched the thing with Newcastle was I watched their game against Villa, and it was they had no issue creating chances. They had an issue finishing.
Yeah.
So like they could just find someone to finish, which they did in that game. Then like they can still score. That's why I think now they got Voltamada, they're going to be fine. That's a different conversation though. But that's just, I don't think we've improved our defense. And like I said, I'm not based on what I said. I'm not thinking that theirs has got worse yet. Same with Arsenal. So if we haven't got better, we haven't bridged the gap in terms of defensively. Yes, we've got better defensively, 100%. But so have both those other teams.
We haven't gotten better players defensively, but I feel that our players have improved defensively. And that's why from the mentality, I don't think our defense has gotten worse. Yes, we did lose a big asset in Levi Cole. I will agree with you on that. Hands down, no disagreement with me for anyone here on the panel. But I think our defense has improved and continues to improve enough that we can still maintain a race for the title.
I also think, by the way, as well, with this argument, one of the other sides of this argument, which we haven't spoken about yet, is from a tactical. We have spoken about it before, but from a tactical perspective in terms of profile. We've already seen, again, let's use this season. 2 games we played. Our first game of the season, you could see the difference. Even the first 20 minutes, against West Ham, the moment that Tosin started getting on the ball and playing those passes, look at the difference it made.
Yeah.
Look at the difference between that and Crystal Palace. So you see we need a player like that in there. So once again, we go back to our entirety of this season in terms of that profile and how we build up. And obviously, I'm not talking about defensively. I'm just talking in terms of the way we build up with our centre backs. We are entirely reliant on Tosin, one player in defence currently, to be able to do that job. We have to coach Josh into doing that job. Badiashile cannot do that job based on what Maresca said. This manager, by the way,
wait, what did
based on what this manager, who has my full trust now after last season, after what he managed to do, especially in the Club World Cup, this manager has said Badiashile can't do it. He has said Nardi can do eyes. Fofana
can do it.
We don't know if Hato can do it. It's again, he needs time. And also, by the way, the thing with Hato is if you go and read about stuff before he came, he was way better as a left back at Ajax than when he played centre back. Way better. His ceiling went massively up after he went to left back compared to playing centre back. Andrew, yes, he did say that he can't do it. He actually said it in a quote when he said Badiashile played central centre back in the Conference League final, and then when he went to left centre back and I think it was Cole that came in, said you could see the difference.
Yes.
I'd recommend you go and read his quotes.
He was
And he said the same about Fofana having the worst game of his life.
He was emphasizing the importance of the role to center back, and how when Levi Cole came into the team or came into those positions, we improved massively, right? I think Benoit can do that role, but Benoit lacks severe amount of confidence, also because of lack of playing time. I am willing to, because I don't really have a choice. If it was up to me, Benoit would have been sold this summer. I just don't think we gave him more than enough time, but the club rate him and they wanted to keep him. So, okay. Whatever. Let's see what happens. If he starts to click and gets the system and gets his confidence back and gets those passes, I think Benoit is more than capable of doing the passing range that Cole was able to do. I mean, for fuck's sake, there was a tweet earlier that we read in a previous show that said that the scouts or whatever see Benoit as a talent of equal and similar level at the time that they bought him as Colwell. So the talent is there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's a matter of unlocking. Obviously, we're relying on maybe that happening, which is intangibles. But I'm willing to be patient and see how things play out with Acheampong, with Benoit, with Fofana coming back, with Tosin, so on and so forth, and see how much of a gap it causes in our defense not having Colwell. Right? I don't think the gap is as big as people make it out to seem. I don't think the missing Colwell necessarily hurts dramatically our chances of going and trying to compete for a title and going and trying to compete for a UCL. So that's just where I stand on it. I'm more of a guy that will wait, play it out, and see how it goes versus, I'll have an initial reaction, but I'm not going to write off my season now because a key player, because then everyone would do that. Every team would do that. I mean, our Arsenal now write off their season because they just lost Saka, who is, as much as you have a backup now in Madueke, he's never going to be. He's going to always be in Saka's shadow.
You know why they're not going to do that? Because they just signed Eze.
Yeah, and you know why they're not going to do that? They got a better goal scorer than Kai Havertz. They still have Kai Havertz if they want to play the whole pass and play BS, but they have a better goal scorer than Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz and Victor Gyökeres. So they've made up at least goal scoring ways with that.
Also, Marshall, I think Jay makes the right point. I'm not writing the season.
No. We're not doing this. Gyökeres is better than Kai Havertz in terms of goal scoring. We're not doing this. Please.
Yeah, time will tell.
Gyökeres is better.
It's something to do it differently in the Premier League.
I think
14 goals. 12 more to go.
I agree with what Jay said. We're not writing off the season. I'm not that. I'm writing off. I don't think we challenge for a title. I don't think we're in the Champions League either, or a challenge for the Champions League. Yeah, but I think I think we finished top 3. That's not a write-off for the season. Finishing top 3 is still decent, but it's not the progression I would have wanted after last season, especially after the Club World Cup.
You're basically.
I don't know where this conversation stemmed from, by the way.
Is we're not reinforcing in the center back instead of getting Garnacho.
Yeah, no, fact. That is fact. The allocation of resources is piss poor in terms of not the whole window, obviously, but in terms of this last bit, spending 40 million on Garnacho and trying to sign a number 10 at 70 million when you have a 2 key issues. And the thing is Marshall, we can have a debate about the centre back thing. The goalkeeping there's no debate.
Yeah, I feel like
there's no debate about a goalkeeper. There's no debate about a goalkeeper. When you're talking about, you want to talk about what we've seen so far this season. We're 2 games into the season. We've seen a minimum of a mistake a game from Sanchez. A minimum of mistake a game.
Wait, would you class that as a mistake? That goal we conceded?
I don't consider the goal a mistake. I consider him punching Gehi in the head the mistake.
Oh,
that's a penalty.
Yeah.
We just got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, he got away with that
because he can't claim a cross. Bro can claim benefits and might a cross.
But the thing with me. Go ahead, Scott. Go ahead, finish.
So I think that's the more pressing issue is the goalkeeper. The thing I will say about the Garnacho thing is there are a couple of small positives. Number one is I think that what has happened with Garnacho is a positive in a sense of I think it finally shows the morons in this fan base that wanted to try and gaslight people into the whole Maignan thing. Oh, we really wanted Maignan. We really want this player. We really want that player. Bullshit. We never wanted Maignan. It was a small opportunity that came up. We never really wanted him because if we wanted him, we would just bought him. You see that with the Garnacho thing. Apparently, we were never going to go over 30 million. We kept getting told, don't want to pay more than 30 million. We paid a 40 million fixed fee and 10% sell on. Explain how that makes sense.
Don't forget Gittins. Remember how
Oh,
we
yeah,
valued
Gittins.
him at 40 million or
We only
45
valued
million,
him at 40 million or 35 million. We paid them exactly what they wanted before the Club World Cup. Just multiple months or weeks after. So there's that. But yes, I think it just shows people like there's that. I think it also highlights the level of PR as well that's around the club. The whole, like I said, we have to sell this player to get this player. No, we don't. That's bullshit. Because if we needed to sell certain players to buy certain players, the Garnacho thing wouldn't happen yet. Because again, we got getting told that we need to sell Jackson first. Evidently not. We just had to find the right deal with United because we really wanted him. That's all it was. Which is why going back to the centre back thing quickly. This whole we need to sell Chalobah first. Bullshit. No, we don't need to sell Chalobah first. That's just their excuse they can have, so that people get pissed at Chalobah for not leaving, when in reality they just don't want to buy another centre back. That's all it is. They just don't want to buy another centre back because they think there's internal solutions. Whether there is or not is a different matter.
But
they don't want to buy another centre back, but they can't say they don't want to buy another centre back because everyone will be up in arms. So they have to say we can't buy another centre back until Chalobah leaves. Then everyone's hatred goes towards Chalobah. Why aren't you leaving? You're not a starter. Leave. You're not that good. Leave.
No, I keep Chalobah at the club. He's a good squad player anyway. If we do like get good centre backs in like top level, but he's quite useful anyway. But that's where
the positives start and finish. This whole we can flip him. I don't care. Like this accountancy shit. Like I care about on the pitch what he's doing this season. I don't care about the future because like things can happen where like you see this summer actually is a perfect example. Everyone thought that we should be getting like 45, 50 million for Nkunku for the level of player he was. We just sold him for less than we bought Garnacho for. No one would have thought that we, sold Felix for, what did we sell him for then? 50 million?
It was 17, but plus 17 million. I don't know. He had a big crazy add-ons with it.
I'm pretty sure we at least broke even or sold him for a small profit. No one expected us to do that, so that's like a positive.
I mean, we've got good
we've had positive and negatives on both ends of like being able to sell players on. Like you see with Disassi now, we're struggling to sell him despite spending 40 million on, and he played a lot of game time. But we've managed to sell. There's probably other players we've done that for. I'm just like forgetting, like off the top of my head. Yeah, so like I'm not focused on whether we can sell him in the future because we have to. By the way, one of him or Gittins or Quenda has to leave next season.
Yeah, I think does Quenda play left wing?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is why I.
And even if he's even if
the board because
the right winger, one of those two that I just mentioned needs to leave anyway, because then you'll still have 5 wings.
But that's why I like I get Garnacho's young and he had that great season under Almiron and he's quick and I don't know, is he Chelsea? Like he wants Chelsea badly, but like
by the way, that great season, by the way.
My bad. Yeah,
sorry, that great season he had last season, that great season, he got outscored. Sorry, in terms of goals and assists, because ultimately that's what we're after from Garnacho.
It was good for his age. I think he's like 19 at the time, no, Scott? Like that was quite impressive.
He was 20.
Are you sure he's 21 now?
Yeah, so last season he was.
Was it last season? I thought season before that.
He turned 21 over the summer.
Yeah, season before that he wouldn't have been under. You said Amarim, so do you mean Ten Hag?
No, I meant
Ten Hag season was the one he got 17 GA. Right?
Ten Hag season, the one where he got 7 and 7 in the league.
No, 10 and 7, I think.
No, he got
7 and 6. He got 7 and 6 in the
7 and 6. Apologies.
No, I meant overall. Like, you got
by the way, fun fact: that's the same amount of goals that Miguel Almiron got 2 seasons ago for Newcastle United. Goals and assists. Sorry.
It's just like as young age,
but that's the same as we could. Yes, but we could say that's more than Madueke, and Madueke played 400 minutes less, so it would be the same. And Madueke had 7 goals and 3 assists. So let's say Madueke.
I didn't like Madueke. I just don't.
No, but Madueke wasn't good enough for this fan base. I think that's the issue, is because like the way I'm looking at it is
GNA standpoint is an improvement. Technically,
the problem is with Garnacho, you have to look at it from a GNA standpoint because he is not an effective footballer in terms of he is. Go and speak to United fans. Go and watch games of his. He is not a player who is going to. I'm trying to think of examples, right? Where like.
I don't think his shooting's that great though, Scott. I think his shooting's kind of one of the weaker
horrible. On the eye, statistic-wise, it's shockingly bad.
Yeah.
He's not a player that's going to like take the game by like, the scruff of its. He's not a player that's going to take the game by like the scruff of its neck, dictate the game and everything, and he might like have a great performance but not get GNA. That's not Garnacho. For him to have a great performance means he's got GNA. So
that was, but you
Not
asked,
unless
like
you
you even
compare
said, you asked United fans, like you asked United fans about the Europa final when Garnacho came on. He looked
Yeah,
like
he
the
looked-
only one that would actually
Yeah,
give him a
I
chance of
remember.
winning.
Yeah, he was good.
that's cool. He's still a shit player. Like Flawless came on today. He said
Like, you can't just dismiss that. Like,
No,
I
no,
try to give you
yeah.
something to go against your argument, and you say, "Oh yeah, great, whatever, doesn't matter." Like,
Yeah, but that's
you have
20
to take
minutes.
it to
That's
account.
20 minutes. That's the 20 minutes.
Not Flawless. I said Flawless. Marshall, that's fair.
Okay.
But then
Okay.
I spoke to Flawless earlier. He came on Lewis's
Yeah.
stream, and someone in the chat said, "Good about Garnacho." Nothing was his answer. Literally nothing. Nothing. I said, "It's anything about Garnacho." He said nothing.
I mean, he's got.
And that's the
I
point,
think he's got good movement and stuff like that. But like, that's the only thing I've
His-
noticed
his-
about
the-
Garnacho.
like if you look at positive statistics that back him, because again, that's what you have to go off. He has a lot of touches in the opposition box. The
Yeah.
counterpoint to that is if you go and look at the top 10 of touches in the opposition box, he is bottom of that top 10 for goals and assists, which tell me wasteful. And before people say, "Oh, but it's probably Salah," yes, absolutely, Salah's in there, as is Mbuemo. Do you know who's also in there? Gabriel Martinelli, who had more goals and assists than him last season.
Yeah, we don't really.
No one rates Martinelli. I needn't say more. He also was in the top 10 for progressive carries. He was like sixth. In that list is Doku, who no one rates, and is head and shoulders above
Is it the
everyone else.
season we just
Matter
had?
what is ahead of him.
Hang on.
This is just
sorry.
the
That's
last
the thing. Like,
just-
Yeah,
just the
like
last
this
season.
is his worst season though. Like this, the season he just had. That
The
was his worst
season-
season.
Cool.
Yeah.
The season, Chris, the season before, like we just
Yeah.
said, 7 goals, 6 assists in the league. That's not
In
impressive.
the league, yeah. I mean,
That's
overall,
not
he had 10
impressive.
goals and 7
That's
assists.
not impressive in any way, shape, or form.
For his age, I thought that's pretty good. But like, I'm not trying to defend it. Like, I don't see where
He is a dog shit footballer. He is a terrible footballer. Like he offers nothing to this team.
Maybe this
he
is
is not-
compensation for
He's
Mason
not
Mount. I don't know.
creative in any way, shape, or form. Has creative bone in his body. The only thing he is
yes.
is a high volume. Like he's a high volume shooter.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, but he's not. He's not.
And,
the
and
greatest
you go and
finisher.
look at if he's a high volume shooter, his output does not reflect that in terms
No,
of
he's not a
positively.
great finisher. He's
But
not a
this
great
is
finisher.
this is the problem I have with this argument, right? Because I don't want to sound like this is a cop out, but the biggest caveat on this, and you probably know what I'm going to say, is that he was playing at Manchester United. Like let's say, for example, we were looking at, if we were dissecting and breaking down, we probably were João Pedro like this. We probably thought for 60 mil, this is a shit signing. He wasn't that effective in Brighton last season. He played on the left. Now we're trying to play him in the 10. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're
I mean, he plays
misprofiling him, this and
striker
that.
too.
Marshall,
now he's
again,
come in
it's
into a
not any-
system
it's
that-
not comparable. It's not comparable.
But what I'm trying to get at is that now he's come into a system that is taking more advantage of his strong assets and he's flourishing more. Now, listen, I don't have high hopes for Garnacho, but at the same time, I don't want to just sit here and say the player is absolutely shit and he's not going to do anything at Chelsea. I think he could actually improve at Chelsea. I think he'll look better at Chelsea. Is he going to be the one, like the answer? No. And I do believe, and I would like to believe, that if Kenda comes into this team and it's not Liga Nos tax, comes off and
Jesus
blows the
Christ.
scene up, he's actually good, then cool. Eventually, Garnacho gets sold down the line. Like, one thing I wanted to address, right, is I feel like one thing that Chelsea fans are doing too much is now, because we got Garnacho, now because we have an injury to Colwell, we want to now put this narrative out there that, oh, the squad building is absolutely shit. If we were talking about last season, I would have agreed with you. This season, in this transfer window, in terms of squad building, I think the directors have rectified a lot of what the
Disagree,
mistakes
okay.
that they made in the past. Like, again, just because we lost one player now doesn't mean that the squad building is shit. Because I saw some of the comments saying before, like, oh, the squad building is here is horrifying. Like, no, it's not. It's really not. Like, look at the depth we have in all positions. Look at the players we're getting in the future. Look at the players that we're developing that could potentially come into this team. And look at the positions that they take up. Like Antomino and Sar are the depth that we could potentially have next season. Listen, I don't know. I'm just, these are the options, right? They're in the Blue Co network, so they could potentially be an option. If you want to believe that they're, be sold off, let's see what happens when they actually get to that point of saying they will be sold off. Because a lot of people were saying the same thing about Santos. Oh, Santos is going to be a flip. He's going to get sold. And what happened? He ended up staying at the team. We ended up being wrong about this whole for-profit FC because it ended up not actually being for-profit FC. They actually do want to build a good team, whether it be with Paev or Isugo and this and that. We will see. Penders is another one too. And this is where I go back to the poor squad building. I understand how they're going about purchasing, and it's about opportunities, right? Mignon, you could say was an opportunity, but if I wait until next window and another Chevalier, which is, in my opinion, Chevalier was probably the better option. Chevalier should have been one of the ones that we should have been in for. That seems to me like a good opportunity. But then I think about it, I'm like, okay, why didn't they go with Chevalier? Maybe because they're putting a lot of stocks on Penders. We already have a player that is going to take that mantle. If I bring in a Chevalier, I stagnate that player's pipeline. There's a pipeline going on at Chelsea where there are players coming up in positions that we're saying right now we need right now, that if we go in the market right now, maybe we don't get a player that's as good as the player that's coming up in the pipeline. So to me, this idea that the squad development, it's not been shit. I think this window alone has rectified a lot of the mistakes that they made in previous windows. And maybe some people see it, maybe some people agree, some people disagree, but I think that the squad building has been really good so far. Do I like the characters that we've gotten in Garnacho or Gittins, that left wing? Not really, but if Kenda is as good as they say he is and he continues that form that he's doing at Liga NOS here, then boom, it fixes that issue. So I don't know. I think the Chelsea fans are doing a little too much. I don't like Garnacho from a personality point, but as a player, he could prove us wrong. And that goes to actually the next question I was going to ask you guys about Garnacho before we move on to Nkunku. What does Garnacho need to do in order to prove you wrong?
20 GNA in the league.
In the league?
Yes.
Wait, so do you think Neto get 20? Oh, because maybe
I'm
you're just saying
all of our wingers to aim for 20 goals and assists.
Because
the only one I didn't up until he played was Esteval, because of obviously being 18, coming to a completely different league. But the way
some
he's
players
performed,
are just technical and just take players
the way
out
he's performed, I reckon he can hit that anyway. But yeah, well, I expect all of our wingers to hit 20 goals and it's 20 GNA combined, obviously. So it could be like 10, 10, 9, and 11, whatever.
That's a
I
crazy.
expect all of them to hit that. That's what I expect. Because if they don't hit that,
expect
then they're
Palmer
not better. If they don't hit that, two things. If they don't hit that, then then I don't think we can challenge for a title, because I think that's what you need to hit, but you need to get towards those numbers in the attacking line. If you're not going to have a guy that scores like 30 goals, which we don't really have at the moment,
we only have one but he won't get it anyway.
You need to I think that you need to get that across the front line. And secondly, because if they don't hit those kind of numbers, they're not an improvement on what we have. So why do you get rid of what we had to get in guys that weren't an improvement?
So you want Garnacho to try to get 20 GNA this season?
If he's going to be, the only way that changes, Marshall, is if he doesn't play games. Like if he plays like 10 games all season, then obviously I'm not going to expect him to get that. But if he's a starter, which I think he will play, and this is another thing, by the way, you mentioned about squad building. Our two left wingers currently, we have a choice between. There's actually three choices, but there's two in my mind, and the reason there's not a third because it then relates to another point. The two left wingers we currently have to start are either a 20-year-old, very raw, as you can see in the first couple of games, winger, who's going to need time to get to the level we think he can get at, or Garnacho, who I think is shit. And just also doesn't fit the system in any way, but that's probably a conversation for another day. Those are
what wingers? Can I ask though, what left wingers in the league have gotten 20 GNA? Because I want to see what to compare it to.
Jacob Murphy. Jacob
Murphy got 20 GNA. Okay. Jacob Murphy's
8 goals, 12 assists. Cool. He got 12 goals and 8 assists as a winger.
Okay, we'll just do wingers, right? Okay, Salah, Jacob Murphy. Who else is out there? Doku hasn't gotten that, right? I'm not wrong in saying that, right?
Oh,
Actually, I could just look up wingers in the Premier League, right? We can do that on
I
transfer.
tried to
just-
do that earlier, but I don't think the numbers were correct
Oh, okay.
because cool. Do you know what? We can lower it. Let's say 17. That's what Semenyo had last season.
I just think between 15 and 20 is like fair. Like if like because I feel like Palmer will get you 20
15
to
would
30
be
at least
okay
anyway.
at best. 15 would be average at best.
Which is better than what you're expecting from him because you're saying he's shit.
He hit 15 previously, or he hit 13, whatever the fuck it was previously.
Oh,
He hit,
Kudus
think-
is a good call. What did Kudus get last season?
I don't think he gets
he hit
past
17 in all comps. Last season he did nothing. I need to check what he got the season before. 'cause
Season
like
I,
last
before,
season,
yeah.
I don't think he
That
gets
was a mess.
past like 12 or something anyway because
I
I don't
can
think he's
check
the
that
main.
because
I
I
don't
don't
think he's
think
the
he
main
gets
star. I think Gittins is ahead of him anyway. who will win.
yeah, Kudus got 17.
Yeah.
Who else
And we want Kudus, right? Like, I think
I would
17
take
is a
Kudus.
fair number.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kudus is better than him. Miles better than him.
Yeah, I
And he's
agree.
very technical too.
I agree. I agree.
Kevin,
I think
do hear
15 is
Garnacho.
fair as
I
a
don't think- I
first
don't
seed.
think he hit that. Yeah, he won't hit that because he won't be first time.
15 is distinctly average. If he gets 15, it's average at best.
But this is what the point. I just don't get why we bought him for 14 million when I don't think he's going to be a main starter. I think we got Gittins in for 60 million. We got potentially Neto who could play on the left, and I think
Axe, I'm so
Esteban.
glad you can't read.
I
I'm
would
so-
rather see Esteban over Gittins and
Yeah,
what's his
Kudus
name?
got
Garnacho.
17 in 23-24
17.
season. So if he can match
I'm
that
so
or at
glad you
least
can't
get
do
close
it.
to it,
He won't. He won't. He won't.
then
He won't.
we'll see.
No, he won't because he won't start. Yeah.
Anthony
But the thing-
Gordon, another
He
one.
could. 'cause-
No.
Okay, sorry. No, let me rephrase
Nope.
it. I'm sorry. I think he could potentially get that because our attack has improved drastically.
And
The only
Anthony
reason Jake
Gordon
Murphy
got
has
20.
that,
Anthony Gordon got 21.
those players, the reason they have that is because they have an Isak, right? Now we have Delap and João
He got 11
Pedro.
goals.
Yeah, but that's not Isaac
Yeah.
level.
No, it's
Got
not
11.
Isak level, but they have a striker. We didn't have a
No,
striker
of
last
course.
season.
I
He
mean,
got
we technically
Mark-
still
This
have
season,
strikers.
they think it's possible.
I would rather
The
see.
same, it's the same goes for United as well. Like, there's such a shambolic club.
By the way,
that
I'm just having a look here.
Hoyland,
What's
yeah.
it called? Harvey Barnes got 16 for Leicester.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's pretty good since it's with Leicester too.
These are all guys outscoring Garnacho, by the way. Who else we got?
I think it's waste
Oh, how
time.
much did he get?
I don't think he's gonna be starting. He'll be playing the Carabao Cup, FA Cup
Wait, what's
games.
counting pens?
The
Oh, Kudu's
problem
counting pens? I
Chris,
mean,
and
whatever.
this was kind of the point I was getting to. I think he does start games because
Do you think he's a main
otherwise
star,
there's
though?
an element to this which is
There's going to be
there's
rotation.
an element which is
Well, of course, but
there's an element to this which is shit squad building in terms of fucking retards in the chat, man.
Ignore the chat.
Yeah, there's an element of this which is shit squad building in terms of, like I said,
Mhm.
one of Gittins or Garnacho has to start on left wing in theory, right? Because if they don't, I don't want either of them to currently. I think Gittins potentially in the future, even though I'm not his biggest fan. What I want is Esteval starting right wing and Neto starting left wing. However, if that happens, best case scenario, why
That's
did you
how I
spend
view
90,
it.
why did you spend nearly 90 million on 2 left wingers for both of them to be backups? You've now got 3 left wingers and 1 right winger.
I know. I think it's bad planning when you could like fill in the goalkeeper.
You might-
or
you might as
fullback
well
or
Have spent that money
even the 10.
on. By the way, Axe, that's the same amount of goals that goals and assists that Garnacho got last season, playing in a woefully bad West Ham team. But you didn't want him, so it's fine. So I think it's like you could have got so many options. I think the issue as well for me is like part of it is the money, in terms of you can't tell me that you could with this amazing like scout network that we supposedly have, and I do think we do have an amazing scouting network. You look at some of the guys we found for Strasbourg and for us. You're telling me you could not have found a guy as good or with as high a ceiling that Garnacho supposedly has for half the price? Because if you say you can't, I'm calling bullshit immediately. I know for a fact that if you give Strasbourg Steve enough time, like, and a laptop, he would find some.
But we
I
were
mean,
linked,
Strasbourg
right?
Steve,
Like, we
respectfully.
were linked to Malik Fofana.
These guys
Right.
get paid a large amount of money to
But,
like find these
it's-
players.
But it's again, like, we're living in this ideal world where it's like, yeah, it's out there. It has to be out there. Sometimes it's just not out there.
It
like
is. We
Malik
found
Fofana.
like people like Esteval.
It is out there.
Yeah, we did.
Backwards,
We did, but how long did we wait?
Marshall, Marshall, Bakwa is in our network, is cheaper,
Yes.
and is better currently.
But how do we know that there isn't a plan to bring Bakwa to Chelsea next season? When that's what I'm saying. Like I think we gotta wait till things play out.
Marshall.
And again,
Why
I
would there
go.
be a
This is
plan?
how is this shit?
Marshall.
Okay.
Let's rewind a bit. Let's rewind a second. I just want to go on that point. Why would there be a plan to bring Bakwa to Chelsea when at that point we'd then have 6 wingers in the league, in our team? Sorry, who is leaving?
Not Esteban. Not Neto. Probably not even getting. I see Garnacho
Cool.
gone in a couple
So
of
there
years.
is no plan to bring
See,
Bakwa.
the reason
If you would have done it this season, you would have done it this season. You wouldn't do it next
But it's
season because you've
also-
got 5 wingers already.
But as much as you might not care, that also hampers them because then they have to get a left winger, right? They have to
Marshall,
get someone to replace
just-
Bakwa.
We were about to do a transfer where I understand that, but let's be honest. Like, it's not that I don't care. I don't think Blueco care ultimately because
They do care. You see
I
the
don't
squad
think-
that they're building at
I
Strasbourg? It's not a
I don't think they do, Marshall,
not a
because
Farmers League squad.
Marshall, I don't think they do care because we've already heard that their striker, their number 1 starting striker, who is kind of their captain, maybe possibly, I don't know. There is
Omega.
it's been looked at that they're going to move him to Chelsea next season.
Yeah.
We've already seen that we signed arguably their best left back. We instead of actually getting them a goalkeeper, we've just sent them 2 of ours on loan, which I'm not mad about, but that doesn't show me that they're trying to build that position for the future.
Sure.
What's the what was the other one as well? There was another one. Oh, the Enciso one. That's the one I was talking about. Obviously, it's fallen through now, but that was a signing that Blueco made to send him to Strasbourg for a year to then just send him to Chelsea. Again, Marshall, in terms of building the squad for Strasbourg, how does that benefit them? Not in terms of their success on the pitch. Like, I understand it's going to help them. They're signing good players. But in terms of building a squad for them, how does that help?
It's see how it plays out. Right? Like,
Doesn't.
let's see what Rosenior does because Rosenior
Yeah,
doesn't
we
just
love
play
all
a
the
single
time.
formation. He plays multiple formations.
No, I agree.
Let's see what he thinks that he can make with his
ultimately-
team and how to,
I
squad
100%
them up,
agree, but my point, Marshall, is I think ultimately and I'm not saying this is wrong, right? Depends on your
sure.
position when it comes to multi-club models.
hmm
Ultimately, Chelsea, from the looks of things, based on the deals and stuff, is seen as the top of the totem pole.
Sure.
At least that's how it's looked with the reports coming out. Like I said, with Omega, with the Enciso thing, whatever. So, if we're the top of the totem pole and they're building up to Chelsea, what does it matter taking 1 extra player in Bakwa, who they're potentially selling this window anyway? By the way,
But
That-
but
so
that's this.
by the way,
but this
he's
goes
just
back
one
to your
player.
point, right?
he's just one player, and I only mentioned him because CNET brought him up. There are others, right? I'd rather players be here and play football than Garnacho. I'll be so honest.
But the thing is, your
Don't get
original
the
point.
There you go, another one.
Your original point, Niak's point. A few people in chat's point was that, oh, you need a left winger. Why don't you just go and get Bakwa? Right? He's cheaper than Garnacho and stuff. Bro, we could have gone and gotten Omega this season and not gone for João Pedro.
100%.
So I feel like there is a plan, and if they did want to do that, they could. And who knows, in January, if we're like, okay, you know what, Maresca can't figure it out, we don't have the facilities in that center back position. Tosin's going, and they probably already thought about the Tosin thing. Tosin's going to AFCON, bring back Mamadou Sarr. Like there is a
Sarr isn't
pipeline
coming
there.
back.
How do you know?
We have 2 days till the window closes, Marshall.
In January, we can cut the loan short. Is what I'm saying.
Why would you do that halfway through the season when Tosin is about to come back?
Because Tosin might go to AFCON.
AFCON.
I don't know
AFCON
if my mic
starts
cut
in
out.
December.
Yeah, and it runs all the way until January.
So
Like you don't know.
so you're
Like
gonna, hold on. So you're going to recall Sarr for literally like a month.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying it's an option.
No, I
So
hear
there
you. I'm
is-
just saying it just doesn't make sense. Is more my
Well,
thought behind it.
it doesn't make sense right now, but it could make sense in December, depending on how the season plays out. So, like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I feel like there is squad planning. Just because, you know, we don't have a good, you know, depth in terms of the left wing doesn't mean, oh, it's terrible squad planning. No, maybe we neglected the left wing position, but the squad planning has been really good so far. Look at our midfield.
Also,
look at all the depth we have in midfield.
That's a good point
You
of
know,
seeing, mate. By that point, we'll have Fofana and, well, less Fofana, but Badiashile back. And you said Badiashile can play central centre back, so we don't need to.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm hoping for. Like, I'm hoping Badiashile steps up.
Starting doesn't make sense, bro. Like,
no, it makes sense if, like what I said before, the context being, okay, look, we've tried Badiashile, we've tried Tosin, and Tosin's going to AFCON, Tosin's hurt, something happens, like, in December, let's see how the team is. And if in December, we still haven't figured out that center back role, we have an option that we potentially call back Mamadou Sarr. Because I doubt they're going to go and buy another center back.
I'll be honest, I'd rather he just stay at Strasbourg the whole season. I think that's better for his development and better for us long term if we do see him as a long term option. Than I'm being serious, bro.
No, I get that, but like I feel like I'm listening to myself last season because I said that about Santos and you wrung me out to dry.
No, because
and we were in desperate need for a midfielder. Now you're saying we're desperate need for a center back.
No, the difference was, Marshall, we only had 3 midfielders and one of them was injured.
Yes.
That was the difference. It's like KDH we didn't really want to see play at the time. Obviously he got better. But we only really had 3 midfielders and one of them was injured. That was different. That was, we had 2 midfielders basically. And they were playing every game. That was the difference in terms of we have to play Reece James centre midfield. I don't think we have to play like. I'm not worried about the centre backs from a numbers point of view to a point, right? Like we've got enough numbers, especially. We do. Yeah. It's like I said, it's more. I think a little bit of quality and the tactical side. That's what I worry about more than anything. It's not because I agree with you. I did want Santos back. Santos, I was on an R, but Ugochukwu definitely.
Or
but
Ugochukwu.
Numbers, numbers specifically. The Sarr thing is more. Because the problem I have with the Sarr thing as well is like, if we do recall him,
you don't even know if
once
he's ready.
The rest of the guys come back, he's not playing. Yeah. So then you've just killed his development for 6 months for no reason. What I would prefer is to go and sign someone who I think is going to be a starter, or loan someone. I think that's been brought up. I think I got brought up on Lewis's stream that potentially you loan someone. And if there is an option to loan someone, that who's gonna let you loan a centre back that would be able to start week in week out for us? That seems weird. Like I know PSG did that with like Skriniar. I don't think Skriniar, obviously he's moved. He's the first one that came to mind, but like I don't know how that would work is more my point. But yeah, like I said, I just think on the squad planning thing, I think I agree to some of it. Like some of the squad planning has been excellent. I do think in hindsight I was wrong about the João Pedro thing in terms of when it first got done, because I can see the planning, and this is where I disagree with you in the Mega thing, because the João Pedro thing in hindsight does make sense because of the versatility. Like you saw it against West Ham. It does mean you have the option to play him and Delap. Whereas if you didn't, it's just Delap and Omega competing with each other, which I'm fine with as well. But this gives you a little bit of a different dynamic. And also then, should in theory, I don't know if we're going to end up talking about another player, but should in theory lessen the need to go and sign another player in that number 10 position? Evidently not. But that's a topic.
That's the next one.
So I do think that was good. And I think the squad playing in elements has been really good. I think the squad planning...
We have neglected some...
Yeah, I think...
we're at least late to the party in some...
Yeah, I think the Hato thing, it was better late than never. Should have probably got done sooner, but it got done. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
The strikers, I think, has been fantastic. I think bringing Esteval and having him behind João Pedro initially was good. Now it probably looks... Bad's the wrong word, but it looks like it's a bit of a misplay because you can say he probably deserves to start. Like it's only a misplay because he has played really well. So you're like, okay, you could probably start both of them. Neto on the left, and then you maybe have someone like you have someone like I said, a Bakwa, a Kudus. Obviously, he probably want to play on that right wing as the other option. Then it's like you've got Gittins and Pedro on the left. Sorry, Neto on the left. So then that's good, but I think that's more a hindsight thing. On the right wing, left wing, I think has been poor because of what I just mentioned. Like I was fine with getting Simmons because
we do forget about that too.
Say again.
The market is also.
I disagree with the market shit. Like it's shit for top level talent, 100%.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's definitely shit for top level talent. I'm not going to disagree with you there in terms of like your name people, obviously.
Yeah.
But past the point where we're getting names and everything. I think you see that with the João Pedro thing and such.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it was like getting Garnacho was the worst case scenario because either, like I said, either he starts and I do not trust him at all. Getting starts, and I think you see it's going to take time. Like he needs a run of games. He needs to have a level of. Even though I don't rate him, and I said I wasn't going to give him time. Ultimately, I'm going to have to because unless Pedro Neto plays out there, I've got no other choice. So you see, he needs a bit more reps, or he needs to kind of get used to the team and everything. Or it's Neto, and then I'm back to why did you spend nearly 90 million on 2 backup left wingers? Neither of which, by the way, on a side note, neither of which, by the way, can play on the right wing. Or both can, but Gittins is much better on the left, and Garnacho. People can disagree. I think he's just shit on everywhere. At least on the left, he can kind of shoot, and he's a high volume shooter. On the right, bro, what's he doing? Putting in crosses. He's got an 18% cross success rate. Like,
but that's like also a lot to do with the fact he's crossing to fucking Højlund and Xerxes, right? Like, let's see, because
the cross success, it means getting the crosses to the player. Like, obviously, what the player does with it, that's not on him. I'm talking. He doesn't even get the he doesn't.
What was
make
Pedro
the
Neto's cross success rate?
Better than 18%. I can guarantee you that.
Can you find out real quick? Because now I'm curious. Because
I mean, Neto this season
sure it was quite good. Like it was better than I think we thought. Cross.
Because I felt like last season Neto was missing a striker because he would do those wonderful crosses to the far post.
I mean, we still haven't got a striker who will get a lot of headers.
Marshall. He was in the 98th percentile for success. For accurate crosses.
Okay,
he
that's
is
a big
good at
difference.
crosses in general. Still, he is still good at crosses. Like that was his main thing. At Wolves, whipping it in, regardless.
Crosses.
Then we go back to this, right? Like the money could have been used for a center back goalkeeper.
No, it could have.
It could have been. But if you guys are building the team, it could have been, right? But
no,
I think that's my issue as well.
That's what I would do, but I'm not the owner. I ain't got the millions of pounds to do it. I don't own Chelsea.
Lying. We know you.
I think ultimately that's where a lot of this comes down to as well in terms of with this and with the Lopez thing, I know we're going to talk about the next.
Yeah.
I would be less Garnacho. I'm always going to be annoyed about because I don't rate him, but I would be less annoyed about the Garnacho and the Lopez thing if the goalkeeper and centre back was addressed. Like if we'd signed a goalkeeper and a centre back, and then these morons just wanted to sign Garnacho, I don't like it, but cool. You've addressed everywhere else. This is the last position you probably need to address in terms of another option on left wing. Cool. You're spending potentially, if you haven't signed Lopez or Simons, potentially 110 million on positions that weren't a priority. Like, yes, we probably need another left winger in terms of it was a nice to have or another option. It wasn't as key a priority as the goalkeeper centre back. The money you might potentially be spending on Lopez, who is only a 10 by the way, or an 8, basically similar to what Enzo is at the moment. The entirety of that money, that's 25 million, it's 70 million apparently. 25 million could have gone on Maignan. There you go, fixes the goalkeeper situation for a couple of seasons till Pender's ready. And you have enough money. I think that you can, I don't know what his price is. It's Lille, respectively. I think you can go and get Ribeiro from Lille for 40 to 55 million. There you go. That's the money that you would have spent on Lopez. And you've just addressed the two areas of need.
I understand that point of view. And for those of you that just tuned in and didn't see the beginning, because we've been talking about this now for like almost over an hour now, right? The beginning of the debate, one of these debates was the squad planning thing, right? And I'll end it on this, and then we'll go on Fermin Lopez. Big up to every single one of you. Smash the like button if you haven't done so already, because I think we've had a very good discussion back and forth about Garnacho, the depth, and all that stuff, right? We're talking a lot of Chelsea here. So smash the like button, because you're not going to really get this anywhere else. Unless there's like kicking and screaming, which is usually the case. But the other side of the argument is that you could say like we could have invested that in a goalkeeper and a center back, but if there's no ideal high prospect center back or goalkeeper out there that you can bring in immediately, then what's the point of bringing it in? Because if you bring in a center back right now, then you're basically essentially saying Acheampong, you're basically out of the team. We're not going to give you minutes. You have Gusto and Reece James at right back that are going to play ahead of you, and center back, we don't trust you to give you minutes or to, give you a chance to prove yourself. We're just going to get another center back. And even then, when that center back is still in the team when Colwell comes in, then what happens with the playing time and so on and so forth, right? And that's been a previous discussion we've had. You can check it out. I'll release a short and all that stuff. Right? Yeah, it's a rehash, right? And we know we just don't agree, but it is what it is. That's what, we have these debates. And in terms of the goalkeeping, if you're relying on Penders, then if you bring a Mignan, which I agree, I still would have brought a Mignan because I don't think Penders is going to be ready next season. But it seems like the plan is, and I could be wrong because you never know with these guys. It seems like the plan is like, let's hold off. There's no one that's significantly worth spending money on that's better than what Penders is going to be. So I'd rather just hold off with Sanchez, who is not good, but he's also not absolute dog shit. Onana.
Onana's fucking terrible.
So let's just wait. When Penders is ready, we have our goalkeeper, and we'll go from there. That's what it looks like for me, and that's what it looks like from the squad planning point of view, right? Which is to answer the whole, we could have invested that into a center back and goalkeeper. We'll see, because at the end of the day, we'll see at the end of the season if they were right or wrong. And that's the beautiful thing about football. And like I said, I think I still hold, and I hope this is the case, that if Garnacho doesn't work out, it's a complete waste of our time and money. Hey, Paul and Stanley,
it's time to go!
I hope he gets sacked. I still don't think he gets sacked. I think, unfortunately, they
made it seem like this was before the extension.
No, I hear you. Like, obviously, he is the driving force of like the whole Garnacho thing. But like, I just see what they just renewed. Like, they just gave him new contracts, despite not deserving nothing to deserve the contract extensions they got. Like, I'm not saying that like they didn't make good signings, but I'm saying most of the good work that was done last season wasn't because of the signings they made. It was because Maresca. Yes, they got the Maresca thing right. You got the third manager right in, third one finally. But from a signings point of view, which is part of your remit as a sporting director, you failed last season. Ultimately, a lot of the good work that was done by Maresca.
I don't disagree. Okay, let's actually talk about the next topic. Which, by the way, we were talking about Garnacho, and that totally derailed into this, which I should have expected. But Fermin Lopez, this was something that we didn't get a chance to talk about because it happened literally the day after we did the show last time. Chris, I don't know if you know about this, but let's go.
I knew we was looking at him.
Apparently, we were actually really interested in him. So let me read some of these tweets because there's been an update as well while we were talking. The information is that Chelsea sent a proposal for Fermin Lopez, and he has to make a decision tomorrow, which was the 26th. That was 2 days ago, or yesterday. Tomorrow, he will meet Hansi Flick face-to-face and discuss what he wants to do. There are no club-to-club talks, but Chelsea made him an offer, and there will be more if he decides to leave. Ornstein had the original Bomba, which I should have started with this. Chelsea evaluating possibility of a move for Fermin Lopez. No contact yet with Barcelona, but Chelsea speaking to 22-year-old attacking midfielders camp as option explored in case of exits and given Barcelona's depth in Spain's international position. Also, Chelsea are assessing whether to move for Fermin Lopez with the deal possible at £43.2 million. Talks taking place on players' side, as David Orsi reports. We have Gerard Romero, remember that one? The whole Calma Kunde. Yes, Chelsea have interest in Fermin Lopez. Bayern are also interested. We have, and Fabrizio kind of fighting it by saying we have to remember also that only 5 days ago, Fermin Lopez said to Barca fans that he wants to stay and be calm. This wasn't 5 years ago, only 5 days ago. Flick also wants him to stay. No club-to-club contact as of today. Gerard Romero pretty much in response saying, if you think Fermin Lopez to Chelsea is rumor, it's just smoke. You can walk away, get some fresh air, and ignore this news. It is disrespectful for journalists to keep saying it's a lie, it's smoke. This news has even been confirmed by The Athletic. More Barcelona outlets saying the following: Justin Fermin is seriously evaluating Chelsea interests. We have another journalist here from Spain saying Barcelona is aware that Chelsea will make a formal offer. Chelsea has confirmed that coach Enzo Maresca has spoken a couple times to Fermin Lopez. Fabrizio saying that direct today between Chelsea and Fermin Lopez's agents. Chelsea start asking questions. How is it going at Barcelona? How is the contract situation? What's his salary? What would he be open to leaving? No bid so far, but conversations are happening. Kieran Gill saying that Chelsea source say that they hold genuine interest in Barcelona's Fermin Lopez, 22-year-old, but that does not mean they have dropped their desire to sign Red Bull Leipzig's Xavi Simons, also 22. Simmons camp are still waiting with Blues working on selling more before buying. This is obviously before the Nkunku stuff happened, which will be next. Barcelona, excuse me. Another Martin Ferran, another Barcelona journo, said Barcelona will not consider offers less than 70 million euros for Fermin Lopez. Continuing on, Barcelona reported the value of Fermin Lopez, £60 million, 69 million euros. It figured Chelsea would be reluctant to meet, according to Matt Law. Max, obviously PYS, saying here, Chelsea have made a formal pitch to Fermin Lopez and are prepared to move forward and act if given encouragement by player. Chelsea are tired of lack of movement on Xavi Simons negotiations and hope that this tactic will bring movement in the deal. If not, they could move to Fermin. Xavi is still the priority. Fermin Lopez has doubts. He's not saying he will leave Barcelona, but sources close to the player acknowledge that he's seriously considering Chelsea's offer. He needs to decide soon, according to another Barcelona outlet. La Marca saying here that Fermin Lopez, who was firmly against a move away from his boyhood Barcelona club, is now open to a Chelsea transfer. Another Barcelona outlet saying that Chelsea have not made any offers for Fermin Lopez so far. They are interested in the player and believe that he is interested in the move after talking to his agents. However, they only consider 58 million euros too much. Again, the value of the players jumping all over the place. Ben Jacobs saying that Chelsea had further talks today with Fermin Lopez, who has spoken to Enzo Maresca and is valued by Barcelona in excess of 60 million euro. Nothing is close to guaranteed yet, but Chelsea continued to explore the option of a move. Newcastle then step into the ring, going all out to sign Fermin Lopez from Barcelona. They are ready to quadruple his salary and pay a transfer fee of 100 million euros, according to
who is the source on that?
This outlet right here. It's probably another Barcelona outlet. We'll see.
I feel like that's a load of nonsense.
It could be. It could be.
Why the hell would they go way over the top? That makes no sense.
To really guarantee the signing, but yeah, let's see. I think Xavi Simons' story could influence Fermin Lopez, but Chelsea's focus right now is Xavi Simons, according to Fabrizio Romano. And we got this from Martinez Ferran, another apparently reliable source from Barcelona, is that Fermin wants to stay at Barcelona.
At least
Chris, we'll start with you. How do you feel about this whole Fermin Lopez situation? Do you think it's just a smokescreen? Do you think there's genuine interest?
It did come out the blue, but I wouldn't mind taking him at Chelsea anyway, because I feel like
I think he'd be a good player.
I'm not saying he's similar to Xavi Simons where he can play, because Xavi Simons can play on a wing and as a 10 also, like Fermin. But like I would say like Fermin Lopez, like he's obviously like technical. He's good at being close on his feet. He's got a good work rate as well. What I feel like Enzo Maresca would have liked, because he can play that central midfielder role. So I know he's got a good work rate where he can just track up and down. But maybe it is a smokescreen, because like it just went in and out. Like what the news broke like 5 days ago, I want to say, unless I'm a little bit.
2 days ago.
Oh, was it 2 days ago? I thought it was like
it wasn't that long ago.
See, just what I mean.
Actually, when did the Ornstein Bomba stop?
But
Hold on.
then again, what's the smoke screen for? Like, is it for getting Xavi Simons? Because
to get it to move. It was 2 days ago, Chris.
Oh, what to get what to move?
To pressure Leipzig into saying like, okay, fine, we'll buy your
but
player.
like now Tottenham are looking at him.
Or we'll take your deal.
So like I don't know if the smoke screen exactly, but maybe it is. But like I would have took him anyway if we weren't going to get Xavi Simons. I really wanted Xavi Simons because he can play on the left, he can play as a 10.
Remind me, guys.
And
Fermin Lopez played against Inter Milan when there was that whole goal scoring derby, right? When
but he's more attacking. He's still more
PSG.
attacking.
I think he was part of that team and he scored, I guess.
He's more of like a 10, what I've seen anyway, and he can play as a midfielder. That's why he's got that good work rate. He can go up and down, but like he's also quite good on his feet as well, like Xavi Simons in tight spaces. But I would have took it for like 50 million, 60 million, whatever you want to call it. I would have took it for that price if we weren't going to get Xavi Simons. But yeah, I did, when I first saw this, I thought we weren't going to get him anyway. That's what I thought. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I just didn't believe we'd get him. But it doesn't feel like we lost him. Like, for example, maybe Xavi Simons. If we lose Xavi Simons to Tottenham, that felt like a loss to me. Even though we're not really went for official bid, but we've been working the ground for a while to get him at Chelsea. Like, I remember saying, like, hopefully we get like a double. Here we go, Xavi Simons and Hato. Still waiting for Xavi Simons. But
what would you prefer, Chris? Would you prefer
Xavi
Fermin
Simons.
or
Xavi Simons, because he can play on the left wing as well, and that's why I don't think we needed Garnacho, because we could have just had Xavi Simons who can play on the left wing and he can play as a 10. That's why I didn't think we need Garnacho as well. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
Scott, what about you? What would you prefer, Xavi Simons or Fermin? And then
Simons.
obviously your thoughts on Fermin.
Simons at 100%, and it's this transfer's a weird one for me because like I do rate the player. Like I saw when he came on. I think I might have watched him in that Barca game, but I think I remember watching him in the Euros for Spain. Really like what I saw.
Oh yeah, he played in that game too.
The issue I have with this whole thing is like, a couple things. Number one is positionally speaking, he doesn't play left wing at all. So all we're really signing him for is to be that number 10/8, which is basically what we're using Enzo as at the moment. Or he's going to be the backup to Cole Palmer. So you're spending 70 million potentially on just a backup to Cole Palmer. What I liked about the Simons thing is the fact he could cover a couple of different positions. You could have him as the starting left winger if need be, or you could have him on the bench and he's the Palmer replacement if need be, and then you've got like Gittins or whoever as the left wing. So
I mean, he could have been the start as 10 and Palmer on the right as well.
Or that, but like again, Palmer's still playing.
Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, so there was that option. With Lopez, you don't have that flexibility. Also, there's like I said, he seems more of an Enzo type in terms of not Enzo, what we think of Enzo as, more of like what Enzo is in the system,
crashing 10,
like the box to box crashing kind of player. So they're not even the same type of player in terms of Simons is much more of a creator.
Yeah,
wants to like get in the pockets, things like that. Whereas for me, Lopez is a lot more of a box crasher, box to box kind of guy. So if we sign him, is he coming in to like be the Enzo, like to take Enzo's place? Because based on his profile, that's what it would seem like.
I mean, he could do that.
If he is, wasn't that what we had Santos in the team for?
You'd think.
So this one, like, it's a weird one because, like, with the Simons one, it made sense to me because the fact he was versatile, could play different positions, was a different option, like profile on the left wing. It made sense. I didn't think it made sense if you were getting Garnacho as well. I thought it made sense to only get one of those guys. So, like, now we've signed Garnacho. Simons kind of doesn't make sense to me fully, but if he joins, my hope is he plays so Garnacho, I never have to see him touch a football pitch. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
For me, Lopez obviously doesn't have that. But yeah, so it's just, it would seem a weird switch to go from Simons to Fermin Lopez, considering they're not the same type of player. They don't really fill the same role. Well, seemingly, obviously, we don't know what the role they wanted Simons to fill was, but based on profile, it looked like they wanted him to fill a different role than Lopez. And yeah, so it's just a weird one for me. And reportedly as well, based on what I saw, he's going to be more expensive than than Simons.
Yeah, it's like 70 million euros is what Barcelona is touting. 70 million euro,
and based on what I saw, it looks like we have offered like the deal that was agreed with Leipzig, because apparently it was all kind of agreed. I think it was just we needed to sell players first. Was like 50 million. I think I saw something that was like 50 million. So it's going to be more expensive. Again, based on what is being reported by like Fabrizio and that, which who knows? They're fucking reliable at this point. I
mean, he called Garnacho. I
was about to say he got the Garnacho thing, right? Well, he got it 90% right. He was wrong about the fact we need to sell fucking what's his face first, but it is what it is.
Go ahead, yeah.
Well, he said we needed to sell Garnacho, not Garnacho. We needed to sell Jackson first. We didn't need to sell Jackson first. So he got that bit wrong. He was 95% right about it, like everything else. But yeah, so like I said, it's just a bit of a weird one for me. like for what we're looking for. It would be such a switch, and it would be so weird for me to like. It would be weird. It would be weird because we've seen them do this before, but it would be weird for you to spend the entire time trying to negotiate with RB Leipzig, trying to do all this groundwork. They love that groundwork. Do all of this nonsense to then just pivot away for seemingly no reason. Because again, reportedly, we had to wait until we got rid of Nkunku to sign Simons, as we're going to probably talk about where you guys are. I'll have to jump off in a moment because it'll work tomorrow or later. We had to wait until we sold Nkunku. Nkunku is now gone. In fact, I think he is either in the process or, as of tomorrow, will be doing his medical.
If you'll allow me, I will take that as an opportunity to transition into Nkunku. Let's actually talk about Nkunku real quick. And Chris, this is for you as well because you didn't know until today. I told you.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Kai was telling me, and I just ignored it.
Anyways, so okay, let's talk about Nkunku then. So Nkunku, here we go, ladies and gents. It happened. Nkunku has been done, and let me tell you how it happened. So earlier this week, we had this from Ben Jacobs. Christopher Nkunku remains on the radar for Aston Villa and Leipzig. Let me make this bigger for myself. As it stands, both clubs prefer a loan. Chelsea have been insistent all summer. Any exit must have performance bonuses. Must have permanence. It must be permanent. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's what he meant. I think it's a different word for that. Okay. Chelsea have rejected a loan deal with obligatory purchase option from Bayern for Christopher Nkunku, who might come back with a bid. Red Bull Leipzig and Aston Villa also want to propose a permanent transfer for Nkunku. We continue on. Christopher Nkunku is thought to be prepared to take a pay cut to secure a right move away. Chelsea value him at £42 million, which I believe in January was 60, 50.
It was reported that we wanted like 55, 60, I think.
Yeah. A permanent deal for Christopher Nkunku could hold the key to whether Xavi Simons' proposed Chelsea switch occurs. If Nkunku does not move to Red Bull Leipzig, it could prove detrimental to Xavi Simons joining Chelsea. So this is Ornstein confirming what Scott was saying earlier, right? I just got news a few seconds ago while we were live with that Milan are working on Nkunku. So Fabrizio Romano on the Zone got a hint, and this is where things started to get heated up really quick. Exclusive. AC Milan made contact to explore a deal for Christopher Nkunku among attacking options. Milan are in active talks for new signings up front, and Nkunku has been discussed in recent hours. Player open to leave Chelsea in the final days. AC Milan and Chelsea are negotiating for permanent Nkunku deal, not a loan. Talks on, according to Fabrizio Romano. He also says here that negotiations with Chelsea are underway for permanent deal, not loan. Talks about fee. Nkunku keen on joining Milan. Conrad Harder deal blocked since Monday as Sporting changed conditions. It was never done. We continue on. Matty Moretto reporting that AC Milan is considering Christopher Nkunku for Chelsea. First context between the parties to understand the feasibility of the operation. It is one of the options that is added to the list at the end of this market. The player is ready to leave the English club. Also, Matty Moretto is saying that talks for Christopher Nkunku at AC Milan are progressing positively. The parties expect to reach a full agreement in the coming hours. A 5-year contract is ready for Nkunku. 5-year contract. How old is he?
28.
Wow. I mean, to be honest, it's the Italian league, so a 5-year contract isn't that bad. So
he did well, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Santi JFM also saying here that contractually agreement nearly reached between Christopher Nkunku and AC Milan. Contract until 2030. AC Milan prepared offer between 30 to 40 million euro. Leipzig and Aston Villa want to propose a permanent transfer. Chelsea has refused a loan offer with mandatory purchase option from Bayern, who might come back with a bid. We continue on. AC Milan have reached an agreement on personal terms with Christopher Nkunku. The details as follows. Fabrizio Romano reporting that Nkunku and AC Milan deal progressing as personal terms are not an issue. Nkunku wants AC Milan and talks over contract are well advanced. Chelsea and AC Milan are discussing about transfer fees, surely in excess of reported 30 million euro. More on the exclusive. Nkunku details Chelsea's starting request for AC Milan was around 34.5 million plus add-ons. Milan want to offer around 25 million pounds. Sorry, not euros, and add-ons. Very concrete negotiations going on. Milan are very confident that they can find an agreement with Chelsea. AC Milan preparing an offer between 30 to 40 million euros for Christopher Nkunku. Leipzig and Aston Villa also want to propose a permanent. Simon Phillips retweeting or requoting Fabrizio Romano saying Chelsea starting request for AC Milan was around 34.5 million pounds. I already read this pretty much, so let's continue on. Fabrizio also saying Milan have started official negotiations with Chelsea for Christopher Nkunku. Chelsea started from 40 million euros, but Milan's offer started at 30 million euros, so there's not much of gap evaluation. And then here we go. The agreement on 5-year deal is done as revealed, and Nkunku wants AC Milan, and talks with Chelsea are underway, continuing today. Understand the total package for Nkunku to AC Milan reaches 42 million euros.
Did you see the comment before? Sorry, like, go back. Xavi is coming. We got the guys. It caught me off. Like, I was drinking water. I almost spat it out.
Chelsea accept initial fee higher than 35 million plus add-ons. And then here we got the Ornstein bomb. AC Milan reach agreement with Chelsea to sign Christopher Nkunku. Deal for 27-year-old forward. 42 million euro plus sell-on clause for to Chelsea Football Club. Permission granted to travel and personal terms in place as French international closes in on AC Milan moved from the Athletic post Fabrizio Romano. Here is the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Christopher Nkunku to AC Milan. Here we go. Deal verbally agreed in principle between the clubs. AC Milan and Chelsea are set to prepare documents today. Fee will be in the region of 35 million euros with add-ons. And Nkunku said yes to a 5-year contract yesterday as revealed. And then here we go. And Nkunku showing up at Milan. Yeah. And Nkunku is in Milan right now and ready to sign the documents and become an AC Milan player. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. I do also want to integrate Xavi Simons, but let's take a moment to, I guess, let's look at the details that Ornstein revealed here. 42 million euro plus a sell-on clause. I don't know how much the percentage of the sell-on clause it is. Maybe Scott knows. Maybe Chris doesn't know.
I don't
maybe
know.
Chat. Maybe Chat knows. I don't know if anyone knows what percentage sell-on clause there is there.
I feel like if you don't know, probably ain't out there yet. Because I feel like you would have seen it.
I'm not the fastest when it comes to the news, as per tradition here. But yeah, I think 42 million euro, which comes out to be what, 35 million pounds?
I actually have no idea.
Give or take, hit or miss.
Yeah, that's about 35. I reckon if I can just
35 million pounds with a sell on. That's actually pretty good. If they do sell it on, that ends up being near 40 million pounds, which is kind of what Chelsea were asking for this window. So I think that's a really good deal. And AC Milan, I think, is a good fit for him. I think AC Milan needs someone to, I'm not saying they're the same position, but a similar creative outlet to what Reinders was able to give them. Maybe I'm misprofiling Nkunku again, but I feel like Nkunku could do that, especially at AC Milan Serie A, a much more slow pace league. Maybe get some more space to do that kind of stuff. To be fair, if he had stayed, I wouldn't have minded again. Simply because that first season gets a knee injury, second season ends up being his first real season at Chelsea. And then, like I was saying yesterday with Jimmy, I rate players in their second season. So this season would have been the one where I was like, okay, it's all or nothing on this one. We ended up selling him. It didn't work out at Chelsea.
Oh, this would be all or nothing for you and Nkunku.
Yeah,
I just came back because my dog wanted to go out.
No, that's all good. This would have been all or nothing for me because this, technically, is his third season, but on a formality because he was injured that first season, I see it as this could be his second season. You know what I'm saying? So, Nkunku, I think all of us agree he's a good player. It just didn't work out at Chelsea.
He's got ability, and I believe he hasn't got the worst shot. I felt like he had a decent clinical side to him with his front of goal. I felt like he's a bit too lazy for Enzo Maresca's system. I don't think he suited it at all. He doesn't have the work rate to trap back down and all that type of stuff. So, also maybe the Premier League's too quick for the pace for Nkunku as well. But maybe that was the issue as well. I don't know for sure because we only saw one full season of Nkunku and it wasn't great. But I'm glad we moved them on. A shame we basically swapped in a player where most of us don't rate. We didn't get the right player in, I don't think, but at least we moved him on, and it's felt like a smooth one anyway. Like we just moved him on, 42 million euros plus add-ons, no, plus salon cost. So,
yeah,
I wish him luck though. I like it.
I'm in too much. Like it's okay business. I think getting rid of him, getting him gone was the important thing, is what I will say.
Sure.
However, going back to what we spoke about earlier, the fact that we went from wanting, and I think rightfully so, because the player that we know he can be, if obviously the situation's changed, going from wanting like 60 mil, maybe even 50 at push, down to 35 million pounds, I think is like an L. I know people will say, "Oh, book value and this and that." I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. So, like, I think that's a bit of a negative. Like, as I said, ultimately the important thing was getting rid of him, and we got decent money. It's not a bad deal.
Was he on a high wage, actually?
It was,
it was like
200 something
or 200k.
Okay, that's a good thing.
So it's good in that aspect, right? And like I said, it's not a bad deal in terms of the actual amount we got. It's just, I think it looks a little bit bad in terms of when you look at what we tried to get and what we potentially could have got.
Yeah, in January. We're trying to exploit the market in January,
which sucks a little bit. And I do think this is one of those examples, like what I said earlier, with like, obviously, I don't think we've had many, but where you like, yes, you can sign players and try and flip them, but sometimes you might just have to break even or like take a bit of a loss. Like that's just how it's going to be sometimes. So you shouldn't always look to, we can just flip this player. Sometimes we can. Sometimes we're not going to be able to. Like with this one, like with the Disassi one, like with the Cassidy one, like we basically sold him for what we bought him for, etc. Yeah, ultimately, like I said, it's a good move in terms of getting rid of him. It's positive because he wasn't going to play, and that's good money we can get into the team. Wages gone. I think for the move for himself, that's a good move. Like Milan are a mess, but hopefully he'll be able to help him a little bit with Allegri being there. Yeah, like that's kind of it. Like hopefully he kind of get his career back on track a little bit because it was bad. It was bad at times, especially last season.
Last season especially. Like it was really bad, and it looked like during Club World Cup, it looked like people were kind of. He helped. I feel like KDH had a better turn than he did, but in Club World Cup, it looked like things were looking a little better, and that maybe he finally found his feet in the system. Maybe
and that goal we scored.
Fuck up, Chris. But like, it wasn't even like that he found his feet. I feel like it was like a reignition of his motivation, because I feel like that was the one I accused him of the most last season. I feel like this player did not want to be at Chelsea, and it showed with the body language and so on and so forth. And maybe in that competition in the summer, where like I definitely felt that the team bonded a lot more. I feel like maybe he started to give a shit a little bit more. He started to feel more included in the team and part of the plan. And yeah, it's one that like if he had stayed, I wouldn't have been upset. But I'm kind of glad that we got a decent fee for him and a sell-on clause on top of that. And
that's weird to me. Like I don't know. I like. Not from our point of view. I don't know who that's weird towards. I find, why would you need a sell-on clause for Nkunku, who's 27, probably doesn't have any like, unless he has an incredible season next season to the point where like, okay, you're back to your absolute best, and like Bayern or whoever want to buy him. I find it a little bit weird of like, who do you think you're selling? Like who do you think they're selling him to after this? It's a little bit weird. It's not like the end of the world. It's just a bit weird.
But it's like, because they probably wanted something closer to the price they were asking for in January. And I think it's like, we all understand that like Nkunku's not a bad player at all. It just didn't work out at Chelsea, right? Because we know the Nkunku we saw before the knee injury. It's a fucking good player. Like I personally was under, like I was about to get to that point where I was considering him a world-class player, and he would have been like a first real world-class signing for Chelsea under this ownership, and it didn't work out. But and this is why I said in January, I was like, I don't mind the price you're selling it at, because I do think that player is worth that price, because we all know like it's just not working at Chelsea. We know it's a good player there. So maybe that sell-on clause is more so for like, you know, maybe we can recoup a little bit of that extra money, depending on how much it is. I do like, obviously, when we know how much a percentage of the sell-out clause is there, will tell me how much they were actually going for. Because if it's 20%, then that tells me like they were probably trying to get like 55 million, right? But if it's like 10%, they'd be like, maybe they were going for 45. So we'll see. But I think that's for them to try to like recoup some of that money that they were going for. Let's actually really quickly also transition into, because this also ties into Xavi Simons, right? So let me get into the Xavi Simons segment real quick. Let me just know where I'm ending here. Okay. So a lot is going on with Xavi Simons right now, and let's try to get up to speed. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Spurs are now in the picture. So let's catch up. There's a lot to read here, so bear with me, people. I'll try to get this as quick as possible. I think the Nkunku one is linked to Xavi. If Nkunku happens, maybe Simons goes to Chelsea. If Nkunku does not happen, Red Bull Leipzig, then maybe Simons doesn't happen. This could be a late one and also plausible nothing happens. So that's from Ornstein. So let's get into the news. Only a few truly understand Bayern Munich's game. Oh, this is a perspective I had, and maybe we'll come back to this, and you guys maybe will agree. I agree with this. I think this is kind of what was going on. Bayern Munich's game, right? What their tactic is. They are aware of Chelsea's situation through media, the situation of UEFA, FFP, registration of players, and all this and that, right? Bayern Munich are approaching Chelsea with loan offers for our players that must be sold, while simultaneously trying to persuade Xavi Simons to join them permanently. I think it is a little bit of tactic, but we'll come back to that. Let's read the rest of these tweets. I'm told there is an interest in Simons from elsewhere. I think Simons would only explore the interest if we got to the last 24 hours and Chelsea were completely blocked up, but I still think that will be Chelsea when the push comes to shove. That leads us to this next comment from Sasha Tabulari. Simons still leaning towards Chelsea. Clear preference for the Blues already expressed by Red Bull Leipzig. Chelsea are about to sell Christopher Nkunku in order to make space. Spurs communicated that Xavi is one of the options, but Spurs still very far from a deal. Then we have here Matt Law reporting that Tottenham aim to outpace Chelsea to sign Xavi Simons as talks begin on a bid before the deadline. Tottenham have been interested in Xavi Simons for some time, and there is optimism he would be open to a move to North London, despite his apparent interest in joining Chelsea, according to Matt Law. Fabrizio reporting that Tottenham will not advance or bid on Xavi Simons while Chelsea are still in for him. Chelsea remains in negotiations and advanced talks with player. It's really important for Nkunku to go. This goes against what this next tweet is probably saying from Ben Jacobs, that Xavi Simons is understood to be open to joining Spurs, even though Chelsea has been a long-standing preference all summer. Xavi Simons is in London, and he hopes to finalize a Premier League move. Spurs in talks and considering a bid. Simons has wanted Chelsea all summer, and terms are in place. Both clubs active, with Leipzig hoping for a 65 million euro plus add-ons. So no, more than 65 million euros. So we continue on. Due to contract talks, Xavi Simons has been released from training until further notice. The Dutchman did not train in Leipzig today and is instead engaged in discussions and negotiations about his future, as Leipzig confirmed upon request. A move to the Premier League is imminent. Xavi is currently in London, as also reported by Yvonne Gab. Despite contrary reports, Chelsea remain in a race for Xavi. Alongside Tottenham, internal London duel for Xavi. At the same time, it's a done deal for Christopher Nkunku. Chelsea and Milan have reached an agreement, according to Pletigol and Burger J, which we already know has happened. It's done. Here we go. So, Florian Plattenberg then saying, breaking Bamba here, Tottenham are now preparing to hijack the imminent deal for Xavi Simons to Chelsea. Xavi has been excused from team duties due to the contact talks and is no longer in Leipzig, as Red Bull Leipzig confirmed. Xavi and Chelsea still have a full agreement in place, and Chelsea remain very much in a race. Now, alongside Tottenham and Leipzig are waiting for official offers. Chelsea are still in advanced talks with Leipzig over Simons and have an agreement with the player, but there is still something to do, quote unquote, before the deal is done. Spurs have entered the race and are working hard on the deal. They will not send a bid unless they know they will get him. Going back to what we were saying before. But then, here we go. Do not rule out do not rule out Chelsea from the race for Xavi Simons. As of today, Chelsea are not dead in this race. Let's see what happens in the next hours in this battle between Chelsea and Tottenham. We already know what happens every time Chelsea and Tottenham battle. Anyways, Florian Plattenberg, exclusive. Tottenham have now officially submitted an offer for Red Bull Leipzig for Xavi Simons. It is already close to the offer that Red Bull Leipzig are expected. 70 million euros all in. No offer from Chelsea yet, according to Philip Hines and Sky Sports Germany. And then Fabrizio was saying Tottenham have not made any bids so far and will make a bid only when they are sure Xavi Simons will join them. Because last time they made a bid and they thought the player was going to join them, Arsenal came and hijacked it, right? That's why. So they're going back and forth. They're contradicting each other. Let's see what happens. Chelsea and Leipzig remain in talks, though Chelsea is still some work to do in the structure of the deal. Tottenham now hope to finalize details of the 60 million plus add-ons deal for Xavi Simons with Red Bull Leipzig. He is still interested from Chelsea and wants a contract that would put him among Spurs' highest paid players, but is increasingly open to a move to Tottenham. Tottenham close to agreeing a deal to sign Xavi Simons following positive talks with Red Bull Leipzig and player. But until transfer is confirmed, there will be nervousness over Chelsea threat. Okay, so this is Matt Law reporting that. Athletic also saying here that Tottenham has submitted an opening bid for Xavi Simons, a proposal worth an initial £51.8 million, potentially rising to 60 million. 60.5 pounds if all bonuses are achieved, has been tabled. Leipzig are considering the offer, but no agreement has yet been reached. For Xavi Simons, this is a battle in going to London between Tottenham and Chelsea. The player is with his camp deciding what to do. Tottenham are being very aggressive. He's always wanted Chelsea, so they would have to do something important, according to Fabrizio. Ben Jacobs also saying here that Xavi Simons hoping to clarify the future before the weekend. Terms agree with Chelsea, his long-standing preference, but no fee sorted with Leipzig yet. Spurs close to a fee with Leipzig, but still working on finalizing Xavi term. Leipzig, as with Benjamin Sesko, have two suitors as they seek close to 70 million euros. Chelsea have actively exploring Fermin Lopez as another option. So Chelsea are also actively exploring Fermin Lopez, right? And lastly, Red Bull Leipzig confirmed Xavi Simons has been released from team duties to pursue contract talks. I already read this earlier, so we're going to go ahead and discuss it. And here to join me in the back is CP. Yeah. So the boys had to go to work. Obviously, we've had a long show so far. But yeah, people are worried that Tottenham are going to hijack this. I'm not worried about it. Part of me is not worried about it because I feel like part of it is that Chelsea want to do the whole media thing and, do a deadline day deal and all that. This is fun and stuff. The other part of it being that it's just now that we have released Nkunku, I think also for whatever reason, Jackson has to do with it as well. I don't know why. But Jackson is another player that if we have time, we'll talk about it next as well. Another player that we're on the cusp of selling or potentially loaning. Don't have to deal with there's other players that need to be sold, right? And loaned. Disasi, Tariq George, Jackson, Sterling, Chilwell. There's 5 players there. I might be missing one, but there's Fofana, David Dutcher Fofana. So 6 players in total whose moves we don't know about. So I'm not too worried about Xavi Simons not coming to Chelsea, but it's more so like we need to get movement quick. And I feel like in the next few days, we're going to find out what's going to happen with Jackson and so on and so forth. But between Fermin Lopez and Xavi Simons, just because I know Xavi Simons more than I know Fermin Lopez, and it seems like he's more versatile than Fermin Lopez, I would vouch to go for Xavi Simons over Fermin Lopez. But I think Fermin Lopez is kind of one of those smoke screens to kind of, even though he might not be a smoke screen, he might actually be a fallback plan. I feel like he is another one that we're kind of talking about it now to tempt Leipzig to kind of give into the negotiations, right? And to make a move and accept our offer. But CP, I don't know. What's your perspective on this whole Xavi Simons saga?
I think we're not gonna get him
Oh, wow.
because, yeah, it's sounding like Olise all over again. I don't think we're gonna even put a bid in the way it's sounding right now.
Interesting.
So you know, it's not like Tottenham's hijacking anything because we haven't even put in a bid. So, you know, unlike with Eze, like Spurs made a bid, everything was kind of set, and then Arsenal beat that bid. I just don't think we're gonna do that because if you think Fermin Lopez is a smokescreen, I'm right now thinking that Xavi Simons is a smokescreen for Garnacho because that happened like Scott said earlier in the stream. Everyone told the reports were that if Nkunku leaves, Xavi joins. That was the direct 1-for-1. Well, Nkunku's gone, and the first person we sign is Garnacho. Even though the bid is 50-something million pounds, what's happening there? So that's why I'm believing it less by the day. Yeah. Like if Nkunku was leaving, sure, if they were the PR they sent us, I was like, okay, good, we're ready to go for Xavi then. But then we got Garnacho right away, and now
But
you know.
I think part of it goes back to a previous tweet we read earlier today, EE, to answer your question. Because Garnacho is cheaper, and because this whole UEFA regulations is we need to show profit over deficit in terms of that Conference League team. So because Garnacho is cheaper, we can get him and we're in profit. Let's say, for example, because I don't know where the needle is right now with that UEFA, profit or deficit.
But then why were all the reports that if it's Nkunku, then they made a direct correlation between Nkunku and Xavi? That's what the reports were saying. So then they should have just made a direct correlation with Jackson and Xavi then, instead of Nkunku.
I think what could have happened, and this is again, because I don't know what the numbers are, and I think none of us know what the number is for that. Where are we in terms of the positive? Are we in a positive or are we in a negative in terms of that number for that UEFA thing? Because we don't know. I don't know. But I think Xavi is more expensive than what we sold Nkunku for. And that might be where the issue is because
no, but we always knew that. And even Nkunku's price that we wanted was 40 million pounds. Xavi was always going to be more than 40 million. He was reported, we valued him at 50 something million, and Leipzig valued him at 60. So no matter what, even if we got our valued price, Xavi was always going to be more. So why were all the reports linking the two? That's what I said. They should have done linked Jackson and Xavi instead of Nkunku and Xavi.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
That's why.
But maybe with Jackson, they weren't excited. I don't know. I can't figure this one out. I can't wrap my head around it because now it's like debunking a lot of people and what they were saying, right? Because I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, surely now that's the red carpet for Xavi Simons, but it's still not happening. Maybe it's already happened. We don't know about it, but it's like still not happening. So I don't know. Maybe other players being sold as well. Because wasn't this? No, he wasn't. Disasi wasn't part of that team. Tariq George was. So maybe that's another factor that could help towards that. Garnering out the money for it. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Listen, I'm kind of tired of this saga. I want this Xavi Simons deal to be done already. Or, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's ridiculous, man. The fact that this has been going on for so goddamn long.
Yeah, it's also like Osimhen last season.
Yeah.
Where, hey, we have to get rid of Lukaku and then we'll have space.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that went all the way to the deadline day.
So that one seems a little different, but we because I only say that because like I think we just couldn't agree personal terms with the agent, right? Like a certain salary and stuff like that. The player wanted Chelsea, but and it looked like we were good with Napoli, but it was a player. But now this is the opposite. We have personal terms with the player. He's down to come, but we can't seem to agree a fee for the transfer to go through. And I think part of that, I also think like Now that I think about it more, it might have to do a lot with Tariq George, because he was touted to go to Leipzig, right? There was interest for him to go to Leipzig, but now I'm hearing everything Roma this, Roma that. I don't know.
No, but it can't be because Nkunku Xavi link was almost like a week ago, where they said if Nkunku comes, right, then I mean, if Nkunku leaves, Xavi comes. It was just we're looking at different prospects. It was Carney. Then they said no, right? That didn't work out because Carney wanted Dortmund. Then we were looking at Tyreek, and that was something we were looking into, and then it eventually moved to Nkunku right now.
Curry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
And give me your not recency biased opinion. Like, take a deep breath and really, really give me a good answer on this. If Xavi Simons doesn't come to the club, is this window a letdown to you?
Repeat the last part. If Xavi what?
If Xavi doesn't come to the club, is this window a letdown for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Why so?
Because if we had Xavi, I would have given this a 7 out of 10 if Colwell wasn't injured. So Colwell's injured, so that's now dropped down to like a 5.5. And if we get Xavi, it goes to a 6, which is a barely pass. So it would be a letdown because you didn't get the defensive cover, and we already needed defensive cover, and you didn't get goalkeeper cover. I mean, a better goalkeeper. So
the way I feel like it's a lot of just transfer dopamine for me, because I feel like, for one, I never expected. You never know. Just because you don't like Nashers, he could come in and cook, and then all of a sudden, like, he's not gonna make our team worse. Actually, I don't know about that. Never mind. We'll see with Garnacho. But in terms of Xavi Simons alone, I look at this, and if you had asked me at the beginning of the window, do we need another 10? I would have probably told you no. What makes this nicer is that the fact that he can play left wing, but then we got Gittins, and think what you want about Garnacho, we got Garnacho. So, like, not getting Xavi Simons when he was never really a priority, like over a goalkeeper, or even some people were saying before Colwell's injury, another center back. That's not going to drop my rating of the window. It's not going to drop the window to a disappointing window. So that's where I stand on it. Like, for me, Xavi Simons was never a necessity, and now we're seeing that Esteval could potentially play in that position. João Pedro could potentially play in those spots in the team that, you know, Xavi Simons would take up. So for me, I don't know how, for example, you can now say it's a disappointing window if we don't get him. Like, that just feels like transfer.
No, he only raises it by 0.5 for me. What I'm saying is, it could have been a 7 if we didn't have the Colwell injury. Now we have the Colwell injury, so you haven't addressed that, so it goes back a point where it's now 5.5. And if you get Xavi, it goes to a 6.
But, like, okay, let's say we get to the end of the season. Depending on those center backs that we already currently have, this window could become reevaluated and turn differently, right? Or is it still going to remain that same?
If you give me a center back or a goalkeeper, it goes up a point. If you
no,
get a
no,
center
no, I'm
back
not
or a
saying
goalkeeper,
that.
it goes up a
I'm
point.
just saying, but like, what if like Achimpong steps up, or Badiashile fulfills that role that we needed at center back? Then does that, now you go back into this window and be like, you know what? It turns out we never needed a center back, so I'm going to take that rating away and re-rate the window. That's kind of what I'm saying.
No, because, well, it could, yes, I could raise it up by a point, but it would still go at most to a 7. Because, right, 10 is perfect, and 10 would be a goalkeeper and another center back, because I need center back depth. I wanted that before Colwell's injury. Because I don't trust Disasi. Fofana's, I don't trust to stay healthy. Badi
You mean
Shield, I don't trust to
Badiashile?
stay healthy as much either.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why. Right? So Tosin
Let's
I trust,
see.
Chalobah I trust, and Colwell I trusted. So that's 3 defenders. I need 4 defenders I need to trust. If I want to, because here's the thing, right? Priorities and expectations change based on results. And before the Club World Cup, I wanted us to close the gap and be at most 10 points behind the league leader. After the Club World Cup, in terms of the players we added, the solidity of how we ended the season with our defense, my expectations changed. I thought we could, just like when we won the Champions League, go for the league and go for the Champions League.
I'll say this. At the end of the season, time will tell. We will stand on business. We will revisit this. I still think we can challenge for the league, even without Levi Colwell. A lot of people like CP want to go into the market, get a center back. I believe that the answer can be found within the network. And when I say network, maybe get into January. We don't have that center back. Try to recall Mamadou Sarr. See what you can cook up with that. I don't think it's necessary to buy a center back. We've had this debate. We don't need to rehash it, right? But I feel really strongly on that. EE, everyone acts, everyone in the chat, JP. We already know how I feel about this. Let's see what happens as the season goes on. Because obviously, let's see how it plays out. Because we're all kind of speculation, analysis, all this and that. I am as well. Let's see how it plays out. And then we'll revisit this stream, this conversation, the business I stood on, the business everyone else stood on. And then, like Fabrizio Romano once famously said, in the end, we will see who lied. All right. I'm going to try to get 2 more stories in before I call it, just because they are important. And with the rate of stories we're getting, it's so hard to get through everything, especially because
we are in the final stretch of the window. So I think you should go through the stories, because by Sunday, if you do a Sunday stream, it's basically the next day is the window closing. So yeah, it's going to be hectic.
Yeah, it's really hectic as it is already. So no, starting level center back and bottom 5 goalkeeper. What can go wrong? We will see who lied, EE, because that bottom 5 goalkeeper was in this team last year too. So, okay, let's get into the next topic, which is Jackson to Bayern stalling. This goes back to the theory, right? I think Bayern are trying to swindle their way into getting Xavi Simons by stalling about all this, we want a loan. We don't want a permanent. It's crazy because when an actual bid came in for Nkunku, all of a sudden you had the money. All of a sudden you had the money. We know you have the money. You're trying to swindle us because you're trying to swoop in and hijack Xavi Simons. I believe that theory. You're doing the same thing right now with Nicholas Jackson because you're aware of our situation. Let's talk about it. Nicholas Jackson, Newcastle, are understood to still be eyeing up Nicholas Jackson. Villa have been exploring a deal to reunite with him with Unai Emery. There remains belief that Bayern or another club, another huge club, could yet make a late play for him, according to Matt Law. I can tell you Nicholas Jackson, Villa keeps calling. Newcastle keeps calling again and again. Bayern made contact on Monday with Chelsea to see what formula might work. Maybe a loan with obligation. Chelsea wants that or permanent. Let's see, according to Fabrizio Romano. He also said here that Bayern made club-to-club contact with Chelsea on Monday for Nicholas Jackson to discuss a formula. Could be a loan plus obligation. Newcastle keep calling too. Jackson could be the big bomb of the next days of the market. Chelsea have agreed a deal to loan Nicholas Jackson to Bayern Munich, according to Bild Sport. CF Bayern also saying here that Bayern and Nicholas Jackson have an agreement. Now negotiations with Chelsea. Bayern want a loan deal. Sasha Tepolari saying that Nicholas Jackson now pushing for FC Bayern Munich. Let's wait and see. Fabrizio saying that Bayern Munich keep calling Nicholas Jackson. They spoke to Chelsea again in recent hours. Matt Law reporting, I'm told that if Jackson goes on loan with obligation, it would be a loan obligation in the style of Lewis Hall to Newcastle, whereby the obligation is pretty much absolutely guaranteed. He said that in the London is Blue podcast. Matt Law also saying that I'm told there's a fairly big other club in the mix for Jackson, and that Newcastle have renewed interest for their over the past few days, Bayern have publicly denied interest, but sources around both players and Chelsea think Bayern are sniffing around. Jackson's camp say these quotes are fake. This is a quote regarding this. Major breaking: Newcastle's agent Diomansi Kamara, which I'm pretty sure someone told me that Ali Barat is a super agent and not his actual agent. I don't think that's true, but apparently what was said was that 30 goals in 2 seasons without a single penalty, highs and lows, but a page is turning at blues. Always grateful for yesterday, but always looking forward to tomorrow with optimism. German, Italy, England, the options are numerous. The decision is imminent. Thank you for the support. We see your messages. Nicholas Jackson transfer expected within 48 hours, inshallah. So I don't know if that's actually true. It was debunked, apparently. There's no full agreement between Jackson and Bayern. Bayern and Chelsea are in contact, and it's difficult. Bayern won alone. Premier League clubs remain in the mix, according to Plettigol. Max Berger PJ. I'm sorry, not Max Berger. Patrick Berger at Berger PJ says here that FC Bayern and Chelsea are still in direct talks for striker Nicholas Jackson, 24 Senegalese. New round of negotiations today with award-winning agent Ali Barat involved again. Bayern want a loan, but Chelsea only have one loan slot left. Difficult one, according to Plettigol. Fabrizio Romano saying that Bayern keep pushing to close Nico Jackson deal, but there's still nothing ahead of Chelsea as of tonight. Chelsea want to wait to the end of the Alexander Isak saga before picking best option for Jackson. Bayern will insist in the next 24 hours. Breaking: Nicholas Jackson is set for a loan move to Bayern. Advanced negotiations with Chelsea. Bayern will cover full salary, according to Plettigol. Just in, Chelsea are waiting to see what happens to Isak saga with Liverpool before deciding what they want to do with Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea want to make sure they don't have any better opportunities before saying, okay, you can go to Bayern on loan. Breaking: Chelsea are not letting Nicholas Jackson leave until the Alexander saga is settled. There's still a belief in Isak. There's still belief Isak's future could spark late interest in Jackson from Newcastle or even Liverpool. That was recorded today, earlier in the morning, before the Nick Voltamade deal was done. So this is probably now in the mud. Newcastle are understood to still be eyeing up Nicholas Jackson. Villa have been exploring a deal to reunite. I already did this. I can tell you Nicholas Jackson deal keeps calling. Are these all repeating? Have they repeated? They have repeated. Okay, cool. So pretty much that's the whole spiel. That's everything that's going on with Nicholas Jackson. Bayern looking like the likely option, but Bayern want to do a loan with obligation. Newcastle likely off the table. Aston Villa still at the table. And probably another club in there as well. I don't know. But CP, how do you feel about this whole situation? Are you upset with Bayern?
Yeah. Why? Like, remember I told you a few weeks ago or 2 streams ago? You know what I hate the most? Rich people acting like they're broke, because these people were putting a 70 million euro bid for Victor Waldamada 3 weeks ago that they were getting denied for until obviously Waldamada is now going to Newcastle, but they had the money then, and then all of a sudden for Nkunku, and then even for Jackson, they were like, "Oh, sorry, we can only do a loan." So that's the part that I'm not fully understanding with these guys. So that's the thing. So I'm very much scared that we're gonna get strong armed, and based on reports, I think it's gonna be a loan with an option to buy and not an obligation. So I'm very scared about that, but hopefully he can bag some goals and they can cash that in. But yeah, Waldamada is going, so that's basically Newcastle gone. I saw a guy on Twitter saying Jackson is everyone's alternative option, but he's never been like gotten, right? Like even if you look at Newcastle, Jackson was the guy, right? Ready and waiting. We're gonna bid, and then now they're going for Waldamada, who's around the same price. Are gonna cost even slightly more than Jackson would.
That's done, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's at 80 million euros, which is 70 million pounds, and for Jackson, we're looking at around 70. But lowest we thought we would go to was 65 million. So that's the thing. And then Aston Villa keep on saying how they're broke. which for the most part is true because they barely signed anyone. They're just trying to retain everyone like Ollie Watkins and so forth. So that's not happening. Juventus are selling some players, but they're also going for Zagrova or something from Lille, who's more so an attacking winger. So that's how they're spending their money. AC Milan just spent money on us, so they're not going to spend any more money on us. Napoli's not going to spend more money right now. So Italian clubs are gone. For the most part, I haven't heard any links for Spain. Like Bayern's the only one in terms of Germany, and Villa were the only option left for England. So I don't know what's going on. It looks like we're just going to be cornered and going to have to do a loan with an option for Bayern.
Yeah.
If we can do an obligation, that's great. That's basically selling them. But, I hope it's an obligation or not an option.
No, and from the news, it sounds like it's mostly just obligation. I think the reservation is just because we don't know what's happening. We do, but we don't definitively know what's happening with Raheem Sterling. If we're going to have to use an international loan for him, I doubt it. Chilwell, same thing for him. Disasi, if Bournemouth doesn't happen, that's another option. I think the biggest factor is Tariq George. Just not knowing if Tariq George is going to go to Roma or another club, which we'll follow up on Tariq George saga.
But Tariq is a permanent though, no? Tariq's 25 is a permanent.
I'm looking at it right now.
Right, it's a permanent. It's not a loan option. That's the thing. We're looking for 25 million for a permanent move for Tariq.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just actually go over it. Hold on. Because I was going to save it until the deal has been done. But I might as well do it. And I always forget that you're not on Twitter, so you don't see all these tweets. But I got you. Okay, let's transition into the next topic then real quick, because this does kind of relate to this, right? So, Tariq George to Roma. A little bit of an update on what's going on with this. So, we'll start off with this first tweet right here. Roma and Chelsea will be in direct talks for Tariq George on Tuesday. That was 2 days ago. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, and he's part of the. Wait, hold on. He's not part of the A list, but he played. Okay. Anyways, we continue on. Roma director has arrived in London to negotiate with Chelsea for Tariq George. Meanwhile, Bayern had entered strong for Jackson, negotiating over salary and formula, according to Fabrizio Romano. Matt Law said, "I'm told it's likelier that Tariq George will leave permanently now rather than a loan. Roma, Leipzig, so obviously with that one international loan spot, selling him would be preferable. I'm told there are 2 Premier League clubs interested in him. AS Roma are willing to pay 20 million euro to bring Tariq George to Rome, according to Sky Sports. Tariq George, according to the Marzio, Tariq George does not want to leave Chelsea on a loan, and at this point, AS Roma is ready to make a real investment. In these hours, AS Roma sporting director Frederic Massara has remained in London to understand the conditions to close the deal. A source explained that bids of £25 million for George plus a significant sell-on fee would be enough to sanction the departure. And then Chelsea won a permanent deal for Tariq George as only one international loan spot remains. They have told Roma it would be £25 million plus a heavy sell-on clause, but Roma's budget is lower. Chelsea have received approaches from 2 Premier League clubs and German clubs. So what I'm gathering from this is going for Fabrizio. What I'm gathering from this is that Roma won a loan. Tariq George wants a permanent, and Chelsea want a permanent with a sell-on clause. So if something can't be agreed...
No, I think that Roma is willing to put up basically 15 million pounds, 20 million euros, and we want 30 million euros basically, aka 25 million pounds with a heavy sell-on. So that's the disparity.
Maybe they don't want to do that sell-on.
Yeah, or even...
I feel like it's close, though. Yeah. I feel like it is close, though, right? Like, this is going to happen, and it looks like it's going to be on a permanent. But those are the differences that seem to be going on, right? Like, we want to do a loan because we can't afford the amount you're asking for. Chelsea don't want to do a loan. They want to do a permanent. Tariq wants a permanent. So it may be one of those things like, okay, Roma, we can't seem to agree a permanent. Fine. We'll do a loan with an obligation or something like that, which would be the international loan spot then that would take the Jackson thing out of the picture. So I feel like there is a little bit of like, okay, Jackson, Tariq George, we need to figure out something. Tariq George, how would you feel about Tariq George staying? I feel like that would be detrimental. Like I feel like that actually would hinder his development a lot. Not that it matters because he wants to go on a permanent, but yeah.
That's the worst thing possible. We literally only have 2 to 3 left wingers because Neto can play on the left. We just got Garnacho. We literally just bought Gittins.
And if we get Xavi Simons, he could play on the left too.
Like literally no
There's
point.
like 4 players ahead of him, pretty much.
No, it depends because you just said that Jackson it seems like relying on Xavi and also kind of linked to Tariq George. So Tariq George would need to be sold anyways if we have a shot at Xavi, right? Because then Jackson would take the loan spot with an obligation or an option, right? So that way it wouldn't affect it. But right now, 3 are in front of him. He's a 4th choice option, and he's the one that the club would least care about, right? Because 2 are new signings, like brand new signings, and then 1 is a guy who's on fire right now since the end of the season, and especially the Club World Cup. So, you know. And I think based on the wingers we're getting, and also Quenda, that this is Neto's make or break season, right?
I agree.
So I think they're trying to optimize that we can get as much money as we can for, even if Neto does well, I think we're selling him regardless. It's just, if he does well, we get more money for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We need to figure it out. This is kind of what's going to happen at the final days of the window, right? Just the last minute signings, figuring it out, and the drama and the stress and the anxiety of it all. It's going to be interesting for sure. To answer this though, like, I don't know. I feel like all of these are probably cheaper than Jackson, right? Well, no, not Sesko. Strad Larson cheaper than Jackson. Voltamate cheaper than Jackson. Ekatika cheaper than Jackson. Sesko overpriced, to be honest, which is why Newcastle didn't go for him, and I think United were really desperate. But I don't know. I feel like the price of Jackson is justified based on the market.
I think the same price as Jackson.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would want to pay, like, at least Jackson in the Premier League, right, is proven. You've seen what he can do in the Premier League. He's not a bad player, you know. Like, if you're saying he's shit, then you're saying he's equal to Højlund, and I don't agree with that. But at the same time, this is a tough situation. I want the money for Jackson, 100%. I think, like, it's justified. Like, if we can get 60 million pounds or 60 million euros, whatever because I wanted what? How much did we pay for him in pounds? 25 initially. So if we can get 50 million pounds for him.
Sorry,
I'm
what,
happy.
Jackson?
Yeah.
Jackson was 35 million.
35 million pounds? Or euro?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think pounds.
I want
So 40 million
60 million pounds now. Yeah. So give me the 7 million euros. I think he's worth that price. In this market.
About 65 to 67 million euros. Yeah, for that's 60 million pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. In isolation, if I'm not taking into consideration the market, I think he's worth 40 million euros. If I had to be fair. And maybe I'm being harsh, but I think that's just he's not going to be consistently getting. Well, he does get you double-digit goals, right? So he does do that consistently, but he's not a finisher. So there's that aspect to it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Who knows if Aston Villa swoop in, because Aston Villa have made one signing this whole window. So they're bound to do something. And Unai Emery seems to make the most sense for him as well, for Jackson. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Any final thoughts on that one before I move on to the next one, CP, which is the last one?
No, go for it.
Okay. Then to close out today's show, I wanted to speak on this. and that's the Julio Enciso deal collapsing, people, which I'm kind of not surprised about. It seemed a little sketchy, the signing, considering we knew he had a knee operation. But let's go on it, right? So, latest Julio Enciso deal with Strasbourg is currently on hold. The signing is delayed because Blueco hasn't informed Enciso whether he passes medical. Further updates are expected in the coming hours. Continuing on, update. The medical team has completed its evaluation and passed it on to Blueco management. They are thoroughly reviewing Enciso's knee condition following his minor surgery a few weeks ago to determine whether or not they will take the risk on signing the Paraguayan. Chelsea and Strasbourg are waiting to have results of several medical tests done by Enciso as he had a serious injury in recent months, so they want to check everything in detail. It's an important step. Breaking. The transfer of Julio Enciso to Strasbourg has fallen through. The Blueco group decided to abandon his signing. The player will stay at Brighton, according to this source here, Wilson11G, which ended up being true. Cyril Olive's reporting here that Julio Enciso is not expected to sign with Strasbourg after all. After being injured at the end of last season, undergoing knee surgery in June, he has resumed training with Brighton as part of his rehabilitation. Brighton manager Fabian Herzler has confirmed that Julio Enciso has returned to the club to continue his recovery after his transfer to Strasbourg fell through. And that's everything. I mean, I didn't save it. I don't know why. But Fabian Herzler pretty much reporting earlier that also saying that the injury wasn't that bad, but he's now back in training and all this and that. CP, I have to run to the bathroom really quickly. Can you go ahead and state your comments on this? Are you disappointed that Enciso didn't happen? Are you thinking this is kind of shitty of us to do because it's kind of a waste of his time? Or how do you feel on it? I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I don't think it's a waste of time. We saw a market opportunity for a guy who has tailed off a bit and just gotten an injury. So I think it's just a good opportunity for someone that cheap of a price. But hey, if our medical staff and the Strasbourg medical staff doesn't see him being fit, then I'm not gonna go against them, because since we got the new medical staff, knock on wood, like most of our players have been they've been assessing players correctly. Timelines have been pretty good, and everything like that. So I can't criticize them with regards to that. And even if he joined us, I thought it was going to be a flip situation where we get him from Strasbourg for let's say 25 to 30 million, and then he has that Chelsea name branded to him in a sense, and then we can sell him for 40 plus million and get some profit. Because honestly, even this falling through, I don't really care to. Well, for Strasbourg, it would be good depth anyways. Or an option because there's rumors that apparently Bakwa said that this would be his last game, so I'm assuming he's moving somewhere. So it could have been a good alternative option. But other than that, we have a lot of winger / cams that are in the Blueco system in general, right? We already have Palmer. We already have Esteval in a sense. We're looking at Xavi Simons. We already have Kendry Paez. So a lot of these people in our system, at least 3 players are in our system that can play a winger / cam. And that's not even counting Xavi Simons if we get him or not, or Fermin Lopez, who can also do the same thing. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about in terms of the overall team structure. But it would have been a good flip to have.
Yeah. It's this one seems more genuine than the Amaridian one. Like the Samu one seems like, oh shit, we need to make up something to get out of this deal. This one seems more like they must have known he had some knee issues, and they were like, okay, let's actually see this before we actually commit to it. And then once they actually saw the extent of the injury, they're like, oh, no. Yeah, no, we can't do this. Yeah, this is too risky. I also see what CP was saying there at the end there, because I tuned in obviously a little late there, but it seemed like we kind of had too much going on in that general position anyways. So to an extent, the signing was a little odd, but I saw it as like a potential for okay, if this works out, he could be a left wing option, right? Because or left sided attacking option, because he kind of plays that left 10, left forward position. He's more of a 10, right? But he can play that left 10 position. Maybe be profile there. It is kind of a shame it didn't work out. I know he is a rising star in that sense. Like, I do believe in his talent and his ability, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. I mean, for 25 million euro or 25 million pounds, I forgot how much the price was touted for. Shit happens. It's unfortunate. Are you actually upset that it didn't go through, CP? I didn't catch that part.
No, I said I wasn't. I just thought of the flip opportunity just because we have too many players in that system. So even if you joined Chelsea in a year's time from Strasbourg, I thought we would get him for maybe 25 to 30 million pounds and then sell him on with that. You know how like you have that Chelsea name in your resume kind of elevates you. So I thought, after a year, after a year or two with Chelsea with that name brand, we could sell him for 40 plus million, depending on how well he does and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm not too upset. Like I said, we have too many people in that position already in our system. Like literally one of them's our star boy in Palmer. The other one's a rising star in Esteval. And then also Kendry Pice is having his first season in Europe and he's not doing half bad either. So
if we get Xavi Simons is another one that can play that.
And two of them are younger than him in both Kendry Pius and in Esteval, right? And then I think Xavi Simons is a year older than him only. But I think Incis was 21 and Xavi Simons is 22. So, and Xavi Simons has way more European experience and so on and so forth, and is a better overall player right now. So, yeah, not really bummed.
Let me just look into that real quick. Xavi Simons is 22, 21. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Yeah. So it is what it is. It's shit happens like this in the window all the time, just not spoken about because it's not as high profile, I guess, Chelsea. So it's not the end of the world for me. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna. If this was last season, everyone would have been like, "Oh, what are we doing? We're horrible." Blah, blah, blah. But now that it's like somewhat of a successful season, people don't give a fuck. People don't give a single fuck.
It's also because I don't think we're going back to Brighton and be like, hey, we want this other player instead, right? With Al-Amradi on, we said, hey, no. Then we had Gallagher coming back to Chelsea for 2 days because he couldn't wait the complete 5 days. And then we got João Felix. Yeah. So it always felt like we wanted Abronion, but we actually wanted João Felix, actually. And then we found a way to get João Felix. And we're like, oh, we can get João Felix. Fuck it, let's drop this guy.
No, yeah.
But this is one, like you said, seems more genuine, where it's like, oh, like we wanted this guy in our overall system. He's injured, too bad,
Yeah, it seems like too hard of an injury to take a risk on, which I agree. Knee injuries are, I mean, obviously, I say I agree, but I haven't seen the test myself. But like, it's one of those like we got to be careful with those injuries. So I agree in that statement of like being careful and not taking that risk if it's not necessary. So, all right. Ladies and gents, that's the show. Sorry we spent so much time talking about Garnacho and the squad building and all that stuff, but hey, it's kind of what we do here. We just get these debates and we just talk Chelsea, right? So as the season goes on, we'll be revisiting a lot of these conversations and a lot of these debates that we've had, and in the end, we will see who lied. But yeah, copy and paste the raid message. We're gonna raid out to Sarcasm City. Obviously, some of you probably went and watched American Waffle. Staffy is back, so maybe you enjoyed that. So hopefully, I'll be back on that on Monday. We will be doing Premier League predictions on Monday, so I will send out those Premier League predictions out for you guys. I won't be American Waffle, or maybe I will be, but I'll be late. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But also, people, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're one like away from 50, so if you can get that one person that hasn't liked to smash that like button, will be very helpful. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for all the love and support that you show the channel every time, every day, every single time that we go on. Window is closing, so hopefully things go in our favor, ladies and gents. But as per usual, at the end of every stream, we give out shout outs to our proper casual and higher tier members, and that's going to go out to our friends Not Yandu, Morning Zombie, Mo Beta, JB's, Gabriel Mejia, Lanri Sadiq, A. Suleiman, EE, Dark, and Adrian. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Always appreciate it. And thank you so much for everyone else who's also shown great amount of support on the channel. Rating out the Sarcasm City. Copy and paste the rated message I put there from Stream Elements put there. Let them know where you're coming from. And as always, ladies and gents, thank you for 50 likes. I just saw that go up. And as always, ladies and gents, big up to every single one of you. We'll see you again Saturday, 10 UK time, to react to the game. And hopefully it's a win again. Title race, here we come without Colwell. Have a wonderful night, guys. Until next time, peace.